It's live again.
Woohoo!
Yep, sorry about that. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons tonight. A little departure from our usual World of Darkness. It is the first time we've done Dungeons and Dragons on this channel, and it is kind of the first time for a lot of us. I've played like random one-shot sessions before that never went anywhere. So yeah, a lot of us are really excited to actually get to know Dungeons and Dragons. Tonight, we're actually starting with a session 0, where we're going to be building our own world in our own setting, so that we can really dive into it and get a feel for the place rather than just being dropped in a random location. We do actually kind of have our characters already, so we might even talk about them or play as them a little bit. But we're definitely going to be setting up our scenario, our world, and we will be looking for audience participation here and there. We might ask you guys to help us name places, or if we can't decide on something, do we want mountains here or whatever else, we'll probably like turn to you guys. I am a player tonight for the rest of this game, so I'm going to turn it over now to our lovely dungeon master, Zibani.
Howdy doody. Okay, so yeah, I will be. So tonight I am technically just a player, but like I'm somewhere between a DM and a player because I am going to be implementing just about as much as everyone else here is. But yeah, as you said, we're playing a game called Dawn of Worlds. It's free. It's free online. The developers, they just have it available. If you want to play it, it's ready to go. So the premise of this game is that we are creating a world. I have drawn up a map already. That's the only thing that really needs to exist beforehand. And I'm going to explain how play goes a little bit so everyone, players and also viewers, understand kind of how this game runs. The game takes place in 3 phases. So the first phase is the geography phase. This is the phase where we're going to spend most of our time building mountains and forests and rivers and changing the landmarks and doing all sorts of stuff like that. We do this through using PowerPoints, which are randomly generated at the beginning of the session. We roll 2d6 and get that many PowerPoints at the beginning of each person's turn. You can save up your PowerPoints for big, more dramatic effects, or you can spend your PowerPoints right away, have more regular effect. And if you end your turn with fewer than 5 or fewer PowerPoints, you actually get more PowerPoints. So that kind of incentivizes sticking with what you're supposed to do instead of jumping ahead. So like this is the geography phase, creating a race, which is super expensive, but you can still save up and do it if you want to. In order to know actually how many points things are worth, we have a chart that is just, we look at it and it tells you during the first phase, creating a race costs 22 points, creating a landmark costs 5 points, whatever. So that's the first phase, is the geography phase. We're going to be physically drawing on this map. The second phase is the races phase. That's when it is the cheapest to actually create new races. And this is not just elves and dwarves and humans. This is also things like goblins and orcs and anything that could probably be considered sentient. So don't just create, the big important races. It's also good to include trolls and things that you're going to go up against. And as a note, this is not part of the rules. This is something I'm doing. Each of you will need to create your own race unless somebody else already has. So if you're a race, you have to create that race, but you will get a -3 cost to doing so for your race specifically. So
how would that work for things such as Tiefling or Aasimar?
Yes. So they are not a traditional race, but that would be, you're still going to use the create race option, but it's going to be less, this is when this creature evolves, and more, this is when demons breach into this plane for the first time and start producing tieflings. And that's when the bloodlines are initially created.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
And so this is also going to be kind of narrative, more so than the actual rules say. So it's not just going to be, I'm going to create elves. I would like, kind of an explanation as to how and why the elves came to be and why they've started gathering. If you're going to make a city, why they have a city. because this is not just creating a world. I also want like history, which you need a little bit more than just, I'm going to, use the catastrophe item. Okay, and then the third phase is the politics phase, the relationships phase. So this is when like civilizations start getting built. This is when armies are built, wars are waged, cults and religions really start taking off. So yeah, that's the basic concept of the game. I'm gonna real quick run through the different things that you can do during a turn. And then I think we're about ready to get started. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about point costs because the players all have the actual technical point costs. And then I need to talk a little bit about the world and the things that I am making non-optional in this setting. So they've got shape land, which is anything from change the coastline to make a forest, to grow a mountain, to anything like that. Shape climate, which is create a stable climate type. So if you want a tundra area, you use the shape climate ability. Create race, create sub-race. Those are fairly straightforward. Advanced civilization is fairly straightforward. It's when, this city this civilization, they develop a new understanding of how magic works, and wizards are created, or this civilization creates the steam engine or whatever. Same works with advanced city. There are purify civilization, corrupt civilization, and the same with city. That's basically just make the city a more holy, a more nice, a better place to be, or make it a worse place to be. Event is kind of a catch-all for anything else that doesn't exist. Then there's the catastrophe, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a typhoon. It's a magical explosion. It's anything like that. There is create avatar. These are dramatic, very well-known historical figures. So the start of the Church of Lenim would be an avatar, and like they move and shape the world around them because they're super important. They would probably be assumed to be high-level player characters, 15, 18 level characters. And everything, or most of the things in this game, if art makes something, art makes a forest, Elvish can then put a race in there, and art doesn't really have. Everything is collaborative. Nothing is sacred. Nothing belongs to one person, with the exception of the avatar. The avatar, the person who creates it, is the only person that really gets to like mess with them. And last, there are the command race and the command city. That's kind of straightforward. It's some edict, this is how you go to, or you make one civilization go to war with another. This is how you create a city, because you're commanding the race to gather together and make a city. So that's, I think, everything. It's a little bit daunting, but once we get into it, I'm sure it'll get easier. And now the last thing before we actually get started is I'm talking about the actual world and the non-negotiables. So this world is unique in shape. It looks like a globe from the map that I have up on the screen, but it's not. This world is shaped kind of like a coin, which it has magical reasons behind it. But I have the top side and the underside there. That's not exactly what I'm going to call it. I don't actually have real terms. But the idea is that if you are on the top side, your feet are touching ground on the top side, gravity affects you as though you were on the top side. If you are on the underside, gravity will affect you as though you were on the underside. So if you jump off of the top side, off of the edge, you will fall unless you manage to touch the bottom. And that's so crossing from the top side to the bottom side is very dangerous. There is one place right in the middle of the map where it's reliable to just walk around, and there's a city that I'm going to create there that that's where I'm going to call that a non-negotiable. I'm placing a city there. The other real non-negotiable. Second is ways to access the elemental planes, which is kind of a big deal in D&D, is if you dig too deep into the planet, into the earth, you will break into the earth elemental plane at some point. If you fly too high into the air, you will end up in the air elemental plane. If you swim too deep in the water, you'll end up in the water plane. If you make a fire that's too hot, it will open a portal to the fire plane. And lastly, down at the bottom, the one thing that is terrain untouchable is there's a little red mark there. That is a rift in the world that what it does is it tends to absorb light. It makes the bottom half of the planet darker and more of a twilight feel. So it's going to have vastly different ecosystems than the top side 9 times out of 10. And that stays there. I'm not going to explain what that is because when you guys actually play the game, the top magician or the top wizards will not understand what that is. They will have been studying it for thousands of years. And I think, do we have any questions?
Yes.
Cool.
What's up with the astrological features? So the sun, the moon, anything like that?
That I'm not 100%. I am totally open to suggestions, but the idea right now is it basically works like the real world. It will go in a hemisphere, basically. Actually, it'll probably like spiral around or loop around the hemisphere. Top side, bottom side, top side, bottom side, which will change. It'll change light conditions, but the reason, and that rift is the reason that it's darker on the bottom. So even when it's day during the bottom side, it's still darker because that rift absorbs light.
So day on top, it'd be bottom, or night on bottom, and vice versa.
Yeah. And day kind of comes suddenly, as you would picture if you took a light across a coin. Yeah. Any other questions?
What level of advancement does a race start out with when you create a race?
What do you mean? Presumably like tribal.
All right.
They would start off presumably tribal or something along those lines.
Do we have to...
Go ahead.
Do we have to be sure to create our own player character race?
Yes, you have to. Unless someone else already has, you have to make your own player character race. You will have a 3-point discount on creating the race that is your race. So that'll, once we get to the races phase, that's 3. You can probably get that on a turn, even if you're completely empty.
What if I wanted to create something like, let's say, a unicorn? If I wanted to create a race of creatures that wasn't sentient or intelligent in any way, just monstrous?
That is a good question. That would probably be a purely monstrous race. Let's see. That's a good point. I will say something that I will just say across the board. If you want to create, or it'll get more expensive, but in the first phase, if you want to just create like creatures, I'll add. You know, that's what I'll do. I'll just add a rate for costs for that. But yeah, it does not include that, and that's fair. So I'm gonna edit that right now. Okay, so for the players, I have added it to the top of the image that I have in Discord. Yeah, sure. And just cool. So Modi and I have both shared the image to the chart that is found in the PDF. If anyone wants to follow along, I have made. Off the top of my head, I have made monstrous non-sentient races cost 6 points in the first and third phase and 3 points in the second phase. So they ideally come about around the time that other races show up. All right. So I think if there are no more questions, we're ready to get started. Let's build a world.
I have one.
Yes, go ahead.
If I make goblins, can I be the Goblin King?
I think that'd be an avatar, actually.
Yeah, you could make the Goblin King, and then you could tell stories about him later. But
Yay!
Another thing of note, not really a concern with you guys, but just keep in mind, this is not, I create my race, I build up my race, I pit it against other people. This is a story where we're trying to build a world. not really a concern with you guys. Just want to remind you. So the ideal here is making an interesting world and not building up your character's race.
And then advancing a civilization, just keep it reasonable. Assuming don't make them go to the space age immediately.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's off the table. We're not playing Planescape here.
Shit.
And you'll tell me like what specific advancement they make, and obviously as the DM, I'll be like, that's a little bit much. Let's start at this point instead. So yeah. Okay, so I am. Last thing, I have a hex map on the map that's there. You don't have to follow the hexes exactly. That's just kind of a guideline for what 1 inch is. So we will get started. 2d6 is how many power points you get. And as we're rolling, if you end with 5 or fewer power points at the end, nice, nice. If you end your turn with 5 or fewer power points, the first turn after that, you get an additional power point at the beginning. The second turn, you get 2. The third turn, you get 3. You can't get more than 3 free power points at the beginning of a turn.
Max roll.
Wait, so we're getting how many?
Okay, so you get 2d6. If you end this turn with 5 or fewer, which Modi you will do, then the next turn you start, you will get +1 to whatever you roll the next time. The second time you do that in a row, you'll get +2, and the third time you do it in a row, you'll get +3. You can't go higher than +3.
So it implies to always get yourself to about 5.
Unless you want to hoard something, unless you're like, I have elves, and I really want them to come around really early, so I'm going to hoard my points and make elves super early. But you end up being able to do less if you do that. But if it's important, it's important.
Yeesh.
All right. So, because this is the Age of Land, I'm going to start off with some land. Because as the GM, I will be going first.
Don't be crazy.
Just so you know, Zibs, Spira and I, for some reason, are in the same Roll20 because we switched computers. So instead of mess the whole overlay up, I'm just going to roll as her.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know which one's me.
I do not believe that any of you are going to cheat. I am not going to try and keep track of your PowerPoints because I don't give that much of a crap about it. I will trust you to do the right thing.
Nice. A fatal flaw, my friend.
You fool.
Chat will keep us honest.
Yeah. So I'm going to start off, and I'm going to make a desert. Or at least start a desert off. Oh, that's impossible to see.
Yes, it is.
So there, I have created. I had 9 points. Spent all 9 of my points 3 times. If you look at the chart, it's 3 to shape a land or to shape land. So I have made a desert around that inland sea over there.
Would that be shape climate?
What's that? Shape climate. Well, right now it is just a desert that is a temperate desert. It's not a particularly hot desert. It's just not very fertile, basically. I will probably have to later make it hot.
It's coarse and rough right now. It gets stuck everywhere.
Do you have to do you have to spend all your points in?
No, you don't. You can spend none of them, and hoard up your turn or hoard up your points for 5 turns, and then have 22 and drop them right away.
What I meant is there's multiple phases of turn, or do you have to spend all at once?
No. So your turn. So I just spent as many points as I wanted on my turn, and then it goes to the next turn. And the phase or the what's it called? The age will be about 5 rounds or so. So you can spend 3 of your points and hoard 6 of them. You can not entirely sure what you're asking.
I meant I have 10 points, right?
Okay.
Say I may just want to do one little change right this second, but then as people go and do stuff, I want to make another change.
You have 1 turn. When it gets back to your turn, then you can do it. So yeah, you get 1 chance.
Gotcha.
So do ages change at 5, or is it just when everybody kind of agrees to move on?
Yeah, the way the rules specifically state that it works, and this is, I trust us to, kind of agree, is after 5 rounds, if everyone agrees to move ages, then age will change. If at 10 rounds we still haven't changed ages, then one person has to want an age change, and then it changes. But yeah, so you know what? I'm going to keep track of the age.
First.
So, for simplicity's sake, I figure we go clockwise per the layout. So I have finished. I've dropped all 9 of my points. It is Hope's turn.
Okie dokie. I need to know if this is possible.
Okay.
You said that there are certain places in the world that are a super dangerous connection to the other side. I wanted to know if I could make that.
Okay, so where I have on the map is Edge City. That is like that is where there has consistently been just a walk to the other side. The places that are unreliable and dangerous, you either manually climb down or it like comes and goes. So it's not like I don't think. You know what? If you would like to make a place that kind of flickers back and forth, that you know that it might. All right, I'll allow that.
Cool. I'll put it near your desert. Okay. That's my turn.
Cool.
Well, what is that?
All right. So
I don't know how to describe it. If you're asking what it is,
I accidentally drew that.
Okay. Where did you put it?
I put it near your desert.
What is it?
Where?
To the left of it, 3 dots to the left and 1 down. Can you not see it?
Oh, no. The only way to get to the other side is you walk around the edge. Like around the ridges of the coin.
Okay.
It's not a portal. Like
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was like digging a hole to China.
No. Oh, okay. That's if you dig anywhere, if you dig, you will not reach the other side ever. You will break into the earth elemental plane.
Okay.
So miners, that is a common problem for miners, is they have to be very careful because when they start mining, if they go too deep, they open the earth elemental plane, which has, lots of nice gemstones and stuff, but they have to fight off earth elementals.
If that happens, like someone went and did that, is it like there for good, like a super creepy quarry?
It is. I mean, yeah, and Gabe is also kind of involved in creating this, so he kind of has a little bit of say because this is our collective world. But generally speaking, like if you just dig the hole and don't fill it back up, it'll be dangerous. But like if you fill it back up, then the earth elementals, while the portal still exists, it kind of exists everywhere, but they'll just kind of go past it.
Okay.
But yeah, you can create a dangerous place by having, by creating an event of, your dwarves mining too far and then leaving. But,
okay, so that would fall under event and not like climate or land.
Oh, well, that would. What was that? No, that would not be climate or land because that is something that is caused by people generally.
Gotcha.
Or command race, maybe.
I put it still to the left of the desert, but on the edge, basically sharing a space with water.
All right, cool.
Cool.
So yeah, just so we know that is a known, or that will probably, unless it changes, because that's the point of this game, that will probably be a semi-reliable place to cross, but you don't know when it's going to turn on and when it's going to turn off. It's like a flickering light. So yeah, if that's your turn, Blood Lichen.
So 1 hex is 3 points, give or take?
Yeah, that is 1 inch.
So I'm going to spend all 12 of my points and change one of the islands on the top side into swampland.
Ah, okay, down there.
And that's all my points.
Cool.
It kind of looks like a fidget spinner.
That is Fidget Spinner Island. Well, that's Fidget Spinner Island.
Hey, Modi. You notice how that underside has 3 fjords?
No, I didn't.
Anyway, we can... Alright, there it is. I was going to say it was quite a bit light. I was looking real hard. I was like, where? Oh.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
I had the super thin paintbrush selected for some reason.
Is it my turn?
Yes, the map is supposed to be updating. Graham, do you not see that? That's what I see. You should see right under the E on top side, there is about a triangle of desert. Bottom left-hand corner of the top side, there is what is effectively a fidget spinner down there. Oh yeah, Lord Dethier, there are no races yet. They are exceedingly expensive to create right now. Because, our races at some point are going to want some mountains to hide behind. So that's the nice thing about this. All right, so that would be Elvish Name.
Okay. Well, I got 4. So, I'm going to shape a land.
Okay.
You're going to make... a big-ass mountain. Hold on. I'm trying to get a good color here.
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain!
I also had another question, Van.
Yes.
What if I wanted to create a city for someone else's race?
Yeah, you can. That is command race.
Okay.
Because you are commanding them to gather together and build a city here.
And presuming if none of us make humans, someone else, or they will be there.
I will definitely.
Okay.
If no one else does, actually, I will probably be the one to make them because we don't have any humans in our party.
So I'm going to make like a mountain range here, and then there's one mountain that's so tall that you can see it from both sides. So it's like that.
Like
Like
it
on
is
the
on,
side
it is
of
on
it.
the ridge of the coin?
Yeah.
Just so you know, that is gravity will be very weird on that mountain because it will not pull towards the center. It will pull down or up depending on the side of it.
I'm into it.
So it's almost like the Great Cliffs.
Yeah, it's gravity will be very shenanigany on that mountain.
Also,
Awesome.
I don't know if Van said this. Depending on which side you touch last, that is your direction.
Yeah.
So if you touch the underside after being on the top side, your gravity will swap and go that way.
Yeah. So that is one way to get over to the other side if you're particularly is climb down and then touch the other side. And if you're going to teleport to the other side, you need to teleport inside so you can climb up to the floor and touch it. So that's how gravity works.
Woo.
All right, my turn.
Yeah.
With my 2 whole points,
Nice.
I'm going to put a location of, what is the climate of middle Canada? Not tundra, but
Taiga.
taiga.
Hey, we know our environmental words.
I love it when British people say that word because you're like, wait, are you saying tiger or taiga?
Like
Taiga.
stripes or trees.
Oh yeah, and just as a note,
Taiga.
because this is a coin and not a sphere, most there can be very strange environmental locations where you can have a taiga right next to a desert because it's going to be magically oriented probably instead of geographically. So you don't necessarily need to stick with far north is cold, far south,
So it's like Minecraft.
Yeah, it's very much like Minecraft in terms of environments,
but with a big circle.
Yeah, so circles instead of squares. Basically.
All these squares make a circle.
And where did you? Oh, you could have dropped it there. Awesome. You've delved over to the underside.
All right, I'm done.
Cool. Next is Koznark.
Yes.
Graham,
Sorry.
I'm not making round earthers.
One of the things, damn it. One of the other things I wanted to ask was, are like forests? Are they geographic?
Yeah, that is a geographical thing.
And how about
unless you want to commend a race to start planting a forest for some reason.
Okay, but for now, forests. But
yeah,
that,
forest
that's
is a geographical feature. It is the 3%.
And what about like ice?
Like a snowy area?
No, like glaciers and ice shelves.
Yeah. That would probably be climate based. Like you would spend climate on that.
Or they could just be hot glaciers.
I mean, glaciers tend to, yeah, anyway.
Yeah. Magic.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I wanted to make, to check. And you said if you have 5 or less than 5?
Yeah, 5 or fewer at the end of your turn, you get +1, +2, +3 consecutive turns. Or +1, +2, +3 points on each consecutive turn that you end 5 or lower.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit on these points.
Cool. Then Spira.
I am going to help Modi on a very important mission. We're going to add 2 more spots of, whoops.
That you can't make one that big, I'm sorry.
Nope, that was my push to talk and my mouse. Where was that color, Modi? Like middle top?
So if you look very middle, or all the way on the left at the middle where you have that light green, and then 1 to the right. So second column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 down.
Fjords are always my favorite.
Quick question. What's a fjord?
Norway, Sweden, where they look like kind of like islands, but then still connected to mainland. That's a fjord.
Thank you.
Can we combine points? Kind of like a Captain Planet?
What do you mean?
So, like, if me and Modi were like, let's make a race.
He saves up 10, I save up 12. With our powers combined,
we make a race together.
I don't necessarily have a problem with that. Like, I don't see why that would be a problem.
I almost, like, out loud, almost want, like, the original creators, kind of like the Mass Effect-y. There's, like, this other race that was there before. That's
the Primordial Titans?
Yeah, basically, something like that. But I don't know.
That.
There's not a specific point, because I guess it would be a race, because the race doesn't exist afterwards, so it might be an event. Or catastrophe. I don't know how you play that.
Well, I mean, so the way you'd play that, like, by the rules, is you make the race, and then later you spin a catastrophe and kill off the race.
I like it.
Yep. Like
all right, we're creating the Primordial Titans. Let's do this.
All right. It's your
all right, so I have some plans here. So how do I make lava lakes?
Lava lakes.
Lava lakes. Open pooled lava.
Like if Hawaii were just really angry all the time.
Land to have magma leaking from the crust at certain areas, like
Yeah,
I mean that'd probably be a portal to the fire plane because it would be hot enough for that.
and it'd be level. It's like level. It's almost like a fire swamp.
It'd probably be land, I think.
But that's fine. I'm just going with whatever the points are. But
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the
and the lava leaks into this lake right here, and causes a very humid climate. So whatever the points are for that.
Okay, so the humid climate would just be spin climate. You know, I'd say 1 square would be you'd have to shape land and shape climate at the same time.
So 5 points.
Yeah, for 1 inch worth.
Sure. Whatever is in between this lava lakes and this lake.
Yeah.
See, I put it on the front world.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 points to make that a lava lake / lake, and they intermingle and cause steam, so that's climate.
All right. Yeah.
Unusually humid there. If anyone sees my scheme, that's brewing in my mind.
I don't, and I'm scared.
Okay.
I'm stuck on Scandinavia, so all I can think is Iceland.
I see where the points are combining.
So you have to name that lava land like that giant volcano in Iceland, and then you got to pronounce it for everyone.
You mean
You shouldn't make up a name until you have races, because wherever the races live is going to determine what things are named based on the language. So don't name anything
I still feel like the lava land needs to just take alphabet soup.
No.
Dump some on the table.
Who killed my lava?
Take your face.
I'm gonna put it actually like adjacent to the, because again it doesn't have to match the hexes perfectly.
Oh, fair enough.
Just take your face and roll it across the keyboard. That's the name of the lava swamp.
You know he'll do it.
I was on the wrong screen. I'll have to do it again.
Watch him do it again, and it just says Fred.
There might be some numbers included.
It's a very interesting language.
All right, so we go back and we have hit the beginning again.
This is like shit that Costner's bird race would come up with.
Where are you even posting this?
It's in chat now.
Okay. Kujliki, that looks decidedly Scandinavian.
Doesn't it?
Like get rid of the 9 and the 8 and it looks Scandinavian.
No, keep the 9 and the 8.
I can actually pronounce that if there were numbers in there.
All right, let's do it without the numbers. That's like a different interpretation. Some people go 9 and then 8 in the middle of it.
All right, so that BVTF part is a lot harder, but like the rest would be Kilikayoihi.
Bless you.
It's the language from SpongeBob where you just end everything with.
See, the BV or the BVTF is to just emphasize that it's really humid there.
You're trying to say the name and he's like.
Zibani.
All right, so we have gone back to the beginning. So everybody roll your 2d6.
Come on, 12.
And anyone who ended their turn with 5 or fewer, add 1 to that.
Yeah, getting slightly better.
Wait, so we say if we had any extra from the last turn, so we have that, but then we also add.
Yes, so you add whatever you had the last turn, plus what you roll this turn, plus 1 if you ended last turn with 5 or fewer.
Okay.
So if I spent all of my points, I get a +1?
Yes.
So I have 11.
My God. Okay, you almost have had enough to create a race, or you actually have rolled enough by yourself to create a race on the second turn. If you had just saved your points. Oh. Like hate fuck. All right, so I will start over. I have 8 + 1 points. So I like the idea of this desert being like oppressively large. So I'm going to make it even larger.
Okay, Savannah. Calm down over there.
Is Lake Hatefuck next to another lake? Like a water lake?
Is that Lake Sweet Love?
All right, so
Oh,
that
there should
is...
be there, but there should be obsidian right there where they meet.
Yeah, that's a really good resource for people who can survive that. Okay, cool. So I've spent my 9 points, making a bigger desert.
So my turn?
Yes, it is.
Question.
Answer.
So the thingy, the flickering spot that I made on the top side last turn,
Yeah.
where does that go on the bottom side? Like, where exactly does that lead to?
Give me a second.
There-ish, give or take?
Yeah, about there.
Are you taking notes
The
on the
orange
specific
dot
stuff?
or the green circle?
I fucked up with the orange dot. The green circle.
Alright.
Also, he makes a good point. You should probably be taking notes on this, Fan.
Cool. Yeah.
I have a quick question. I don't know if you mentioned it earlier. Obviously, create race, like if it's humans or tieflings or something like that, that's those points. Are animals just going to be there?
Yes. So if there is like a specific animal that you want to exist that we're not just going to assume exists, I have added a create monster ability, and
Right,
that is
okay.
6 points during this phase, 3 points during the create races phase, and then 6 points during the
So mostly things like rats and deer are going to like kind of
animals,
be there
just standard
automatically.
animals, and basically anything in the D&D rule book that's not kind of important.
Okay. But
It
if we
is
want
basically
monster
free- yeah.
races or
Yeah.
anything mythical.
Yeah, if there's some, basically it's if there's something specific, some kind of specific mythical creature that you want, then make it with create monster. If it's sentient, it requires create race. But if there's like a specific creature that you want to exist, that's a create monster. Everything else is just assumed to kind of have shown up at some point.
I just made a second one on the bottom side. I'm done.
Oh, alright.
Cool.
Me?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna... So, because the 2 hexes on the left side of the fidget spinner are about half a hex, would that just be, you know...
that's one.
Alright, so then I'm gonna spend all 11 points to make this rainy swampland. Just whatever I've already made swamp into rainy swampland.
Cool.
And that's my turn.
Beautiful. So then it's Elvish.
Do you need help with notes or anything
Wait,
like
I
that?
have 10.
I mean, anyone who wants to take notes can go right ahead. I will be taking notes myself. This is not hugely important just yet. But, you know, definitely once we get into the create race, create civilization phases, that's going to be a lot more important. But, like, land is, okay, cool. I remember that's swampland. Anyone who wants to take notes, go right ahead and we'll kind of gather information together.
It's a lot easier when you're only the PC. I'll take notes.
Yeah.
What does the avatar do? Basically make a god?
Okay, so no. So that creates a hero, a noteworthy member of history.
So Genghis Khan.
So yeah, Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, Jesus. So some of them could be like an actual avatar of one of the gods, which isn't really a part of this system. So the way I've come up with to create a god is you create a sect from an existing race and then make them the church of such and such god, which also lets you kind of pick who the god is. I will have some veto power on that because I do have some gods that already exist, but there will be a god of each race or at least each of the primary races, and then, you know, gods of concepts like any D&D setting, you know, gods of balance, gods of luck, you know, whatever.
Okay. All right.
So if you want to create a race, that's the create sect, or
you have to create a race first.
Yeah, create
before
order.
You can
Yes,
make
yes,
anything else, any civilization or anything.
Yeah, in order to create, there exist no sentient races yet.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I have 10 points because I had 8 plus 1 plus 1.
Okay.
So, let's see here. Dang it, my thought was I was going to make a god, but that's not what that is. So, hold on a second, gotta think of what I'm going to do. I'm going to shape some lands. We are gonna... We're gonna make like a delta of rivers.
Of course, Elvis goes ahead and makes the south.
Yes.
What y'all talking about?
So that's 3.
So with rivers, because they're a little bit smaller, you can like if you're this delta kind of covers 1 inch, but if it's if it's just a single river, I'm gonna say like call it 3. You get a 3-inch river for the same cost because it's just a single line instead of a full.
Okay, cool. That's what I was gonna. I'm still gonna spend it, but I didn't want to spend it all on just making a river.
So you get triple effectiveness out of a river because it doesn't cover the entire hex. It's just a line.
Okay, so there's yeah. So that's 3 squares. Well, 1 is actually affected, and then 2, I guess, for a river.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess
I need to make these rivers go.
Yeah, 1 dot per river, I get, or per length of river.
I made them go the wrong way. Okay, there we go. So that's 1. So that's 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 left. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so then we're gonna... We are gonna jungle this guy. So that's 8. Oh, it's still blue. I meant to make that green.
Yeah, just go over it.
I kind of like the legend.
The Legend 27?
I
At the
started
top.
adding a legend.
Yeah, that makes sense.
See, you're a genius, though. Like, 10 out of 10.
I've been maps before.
So that's 8.
Really?
And then climate, I am going to make this like basically really, really stupidly tropical humid.
Cool.
There we go.
All right, so that brings it up to me with my mighty 4 points. I'm going to spend 3 of them to add some mountains. Here's a question for you.
Yes.
Like a river, if I don't plan on covering an entire tile with a mountain range, but half of it, could I do 2 half tiles?
Yeah, again, like I said, the hexes are not like requirements. They're just kind of a guideline. Like, you don't have to follow the hexes exactly. It's just kind of 1 square or 1 hex is about what you're looking for.
So there we go. Added mountain range along that lake.
Beautiful.
The kind of idea I'm going for is that lake is kind of a valley. I'm going to surround it with mountains, so it's this big carved out valley that's
cool,
secluded and hard to get to.
Cool. Oh, and Spira, there's another fjord down at like
trust me, I know where the fjords are.
No, it's like the idea when I designed the map was the rift is right in the middle, and it's kind of like supposed to have a cracking effect around it, which I thought was cool.
Very nice.
Cool.
As a world building aficionado, I appreciate little things like that.
Yeah, and I'm definitely planning on like kind of tidying this up after this is all said and done, tidying the map up and making it, you know, doing a little bit more research into like more realistic world building and making this more realistic, more and less, you know, the result of a game.
I think there's also a program for map making, so it'll look nicer too.
Yeah, there's several of those. All right, so is that thing, Modi? I believe it was you. Cool, then Koznar.
So, how big, like these hexes? How far are we talking, like, to get across one hex?
I think we've decided, and this is a thing that I'm actually cool with discussing with you guys. I think we were talking, or Blood and I were talking, that if you were to walk from one edge of the circle to the opposite side of the circle, assuming there was a land bridge all the way across, it'd take about 2 years to just, like, travel across.
Like an average walking pace.
Yeah. Like if you were just doing regular, like, hiking across, it'd take about 2 years.
Damn, that's a lot of land.
I mean, it's supposed to be planet-sized.
So, like on the underside, at the bottom there?
Yep.
Those 3 little islands, that island on the left, how long would it take to get from that little bit of island to that peninsula?
The farthest left?
Yeah.
And again, this is, you know, do you have a suggestion for that?
That seems like nearly a 12th, so probably a month. But also, if you're going by boat, depending on like if you.
Yeah, I was thinking like by boat, maybe like a week or 2.
Yeah.
So really quick,
yeah.
Are you going at a walking pace for a day's travel, 5 miles or 10 miles?
I don't know actually. Like that's again a thing we like. I'm not 100% sure on what is reasonable here.
5 miles. 5 miles is like a leisurely. You take your time, whatever. Slow wagon.
I'm thinking more like a merchant, you know, slowly making their way across, not, you know, a grueling ruck across.
Okay, give me 1 second.
I'm just trying to get my scale down.
It'd probably be 10 with like you horses, you know. So if it was walking from one place to another, that'd be slower. But if you consider a decent pace, like a merchant, yeah, who's probably going to have a horse or a wagon or something, it'd probably be 10.
I mean, I know that if you're on horseback by yourself or with a couple other horse people, you can do easily 20 miles a day.
Sure, but like I mean, also then you need rest. It's not a straight shoot the whole time.
Yeah, just from growing up around horses, 20 miles a day is a reasonable like just traveling pace.
I mean, I know you can make 12 hours or 12 miles in 50 or 30 minutes. So, or not 30 minutes, sorry, 3 hours. My brain is not braining right now.
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Yes, that is the Army standard for ruck marches.
Is this water salt water or fresh water?
That will be any of the oceans will be salt water with probably some unusual like freshwater locations because of water plane portals. But like as a general rule, saltwater.
That little spot there. Can I make that like a huge saltwater mangrove area?
I'm sorry, mangrove.
Water trees.
Yeah, water trees.
Yeah,
big,
sure.
Like yeah. Florida. Think Florida style, kind of.
Really quick. By that logic, each of those tiles is about 200 miles across.
That seems reasonable.
200 miles if we go by the logic of 5 miles a day, considering travel speed with everything else stopping. And it'd be 400 miles if we were taking the 2 years to be 10 miles a day. So,
yeah, I'd say 200 miles kind of makes sense.
I agree.
That gives plenty of places to go, but not oppressively large.
That's 21 days to cover it at a leisurely pace to travel 1 tile.
Yeah. And that's of course on land, you know, ship is going to go faster.
Yep, I'm happy with my little mangrove there.
Cool.
Well,
Don't you
massive
mean
mangrove, technically.
Mangrove?
Oh, there.
Have you seen my beard?
Oh, sorry, I picked the same color as you.
Yeah.
How do you delete? I don't remember.
You go to the pointer, the arrow, click that, and then you drag over it with like a select box.
Yeah, select box. I did it for you, but yeah, you select and just backspace or delete.
What? That's 800 miles of swampland.
Mangrove, not swamp.
No. His.
Oh, okay.
Giant swamp island. Yeah. That is probably decidedly below sea level, and that's why it's so friggin' swampy.
Hey, that reminds me of the Great Dismal Swamp.
All right, cool. Then that makes it Spira's turn.
Yeah, okay.
And again, just as a note, anyone viewing, go ahead and make suggestions if you see things that we're kind of missing or environments that we don't have or, you know, big glaring spaces that we just don't have. Go ahead and make recommendations.
I'm going to work on some tropics. Can I count that as 3? This is kind of like 2 hexes and some small bits. I'm ready if you want 4.
Which, like, just the islands?
I circled the islands and like kind of 2 hexes on that larger island next to it.
Well, so the islands themselves, that's...
I'm good with 4.
Just the islands themselves, I call it 4.
Okay.
Because it's covering 5 squares, but like get rid of the ocean part.
Yeah, no. I just tried to like make it like that area is going to be tropics. That's my turn.
Cool. And Art.
Just working on some Hawaii.
I'm just zooming in now, so go for it. All right, so this is what I'm thinking about. So I'm on the underworld here on the bottom. I'm thinking about making kind of like an ice bridge based on when the sea levels get low, that it actually allows for travel between these islands and freezes over, kind of like glaciers.
All right. Spira, real quick. You still have giant pink circle.
Oh, you want me to get rid of that?
Because that I was talking because you're also circling a big chunk of the land.
That's what I was asking how much that would be. I could do those 2 half bits that are closest to the islands.
Yeah.
Or are the islands 4?
Well, the whole selection you had. Yeah. So call it 4 for the 2 half bits and the islands.
Okay. I kind of want like some beach and tropical islands.
Yeah. It's cool. That
look better?
Yeah.
Okay.
So how much does that ice bridge cost?
Ice bridge cost? Call it I'll call it 2 squares or 2 squares worth of create land mass.
So 6 points?
Yeah.
Okay, so I still have 9. Let's see.
You can also hang on to them for the next turn.
I could, but I like that extra +2. I like playing to the game.
I mean, you could make 1 ice bridge and make another one next turn.
Well, I could still make an ice bridge this turn.
Oh, cool.
I was thinking that it might do this too. I'm using my mouse when I have a stylus. Tell me the damages, sir.
I'll call it between all of the ice bridges that you have currently done. I'll call it 5 squares worth.
Actually, I'll take it back if I can.
All right, go ahead.
I think it's too much. I think the ice bridge just between these two islands, actually.
I kind of like that.
I kind of like that it's just those guys. It's kind of fun. Let's see. That middle portal that you have, can there be a giant mountain there? And that it is a crater that goes in to make that red. So it's it's like a volcano used to be there.
No, okay. So the red there is the rift itself. There is no it's not lava there.
No lava.
Just as a note, whatever is done there, there will have to be like city space for a city available there at some point, because there will be a city there at some point.
Yeah, I was thinking a crater, like a crater of an old dead volcano.
Yeah, crater's fine.
You know how it's that plane that you can have. So
yeah, that's fine as long as you are keeping room for there to exist a city there.
Definitely, actually, be a fun city there.
Because I have very specific plans for what for that hex and what's gonna be there eventually. Like by the time that game starts.
Okay, no problem. So crater's not gonna ruin your fun?
No, it will not.
All right, I'll do brown around there.
I like the question about it.
Yeah, I was like, thinking the colors here. How many points did I spend? You said 2 there. That's 1 there, so that's 9.
1 second. So that was, I think I said, where did you make this?
Oh, the actual guy here just drew a circle around it.
Oh,
the dark spot.
Yeah, okay. So that's 1 square right there, and then I said 3 down here, I think.
Sure, I'll take it.
Yeah, so 3 total squares, or 4 total squares worth of stuff.
So of land.
Of shape land. Yeah.
Gotcha. Done. I drew a circle around the work. Actually, I'll clean it up a little bit. You can keep going.
Then we are back at the beginning, if that's the end of your turn. So, Urbati, roll. If you ended with so if you ended the first round with less or 5 or fewer, and the last round with 5 or fewer, now you get +2. If you just ended last round, you get +1, or with 5 or fewer.
So wait, I finished the first one, I got a +1, so I spent all of my points this turn, I get a +2?
So yes, you get a +2. You will not go higher than a +3, but you can keep that +3 every turn.
Ew, no, Modi, take this one. I don't want it.
Fuck you.
Ooh, ouch.
I think you just shout out to Modi. Take it, I want it.
All right, so we will start off. So first thing that I'm going to do, thank you. First thing that I'm going to do is I am going to create. It's not going to be very big, but I'll spend the whole points on it. There's going to be a canyon, like a. I'll describe it in a second. So right around there, middle island, top side, there's like a big cliff, round cliff face in there. So that is 3 points. I am going to create a mountain range around the edge of this desert up here. You know, kind of bookending that desert. And
Where's
that
your place?
okay, so in the middle island top side, there's a tiny little like black ring down there. That is a cliff, like a rounded cliff edge.
Got it.
That I have for like, there's a specific city I went there. And then up next to my desert that I've been playing with, I have an edge of mountain range. So that's 4 half squares or 2 squares. And then I have 3 points. And I'm going to start going with a more temperate forest. So I'm going to start a temperate forest. Call it around there. So, you know, like the King's Forest, English forests, and not jungles. And that is my 12 points. So we move on to blood.
Not Hope.
Yeah, I tend to forget about Hope. She kind of...
She's very forgettable. It's okay.
I forgot that I included her in the game, honestly.
Ooh, new phone.
I'm gonna cry later.
No, you go ahead and spend all 2 of your points, Hope.
I have more than 2.
Yeah, but you've got to.
Don't be rude about it, okay? Like, let me ride on a little of something.
Or I could bother you about it. That's fun.
Everyone loves a bully.
Okay, so making a climate is 2 points, right?
No,
I mean,
if you want them to be like an epic bully, then that would be create
I was gonna say bullies are pretty natural to the real world, so I think they're gonna be included.
This is D&D. There's no bullies here. This is my safe space.
No, this is D&D. This is D&D. This is the place where the wizard kills the really fit ball-playing guy.
What?
The wizard's like, I'm sorry, you play sports ball? Fireball!
But then the sports ball player dunks the fireball on the wizard's head.
And then
Hey,
we
Zibani.
cry.
Hey, it's me.
I don't want to talk about dumb sports. How much do climates cost? 2 points?
I think that's what people have been doing.
Okay, cool.
Let me check the thing. Yeah. 1 inch of climate is 2.
And then there's like no dedicated...
You know you're playing a fun game when climate is measured in inches? How many inches of hot is it?
How much an inch of rainforest?
I'm gonna use all of my...
It's 6 whole inches of hot.
Why did you set him up like that?
He's my friend. I had to.
I'm gonna make 4 zones of like Tundra Town.
Cool.
If
A
that's
horror.
chill. That's the spot.
Okay, cool.
Cool, I'm done.
Where did you...
Bottom
Underside.
side. And just as a note, like, you know, cool, there's a tundra there. It's gonna be a lot more mushroomy down there. just all on bottom side because they get a lot less light. So just that's going to be more mushroomy, and like because the bottom side gets less light, so it's going to be plants and animals that require less light to survive. So it will be a lot more of your fancy mushrooms, like when game comes around and you want to buy like really weird fancy mushrooms that have special magic stuff.
Wait. So can we have like bioluminescent animals?
Fuck yes.
I want tons of bioluminescent animals.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Cool.
Marty, we should pool points to make elk with bioluminescent antlers.
I mean, that would basically be that would be monsters, or that would be a create monster, because then I'd probably stack them up and make them.
They might as well be Irish elks, so that they're gigantic.
There actually is in this setting a giant elk stat block. It's the size of an elephant.
Is it mountable?
If you can ride an elephant, you can ride this thing, as long as you can convince
that works for me. And it's bioluminescent, and then we're happy.
So, how much would it take to make saltwater freshwater?
Climate?
Yeah, I'd say that's climate. That doesn't seem like worth the whole 3 points of land.
I got some tropics already going on.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna spend bit of or 6 points to make. Come on. Roll 20 is lagging for me.
Yeah.
I guess that's more 4 points, really, to make that freshwater.
To make what? All right, cool.
That's my turn. Sorry.
Why am I weak sauce for 6? What?
My turn.
No. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes. So go ahead.
Does anybody have 12 points and want to team up and make a race?
I have exactly 12 points. It depends what race.
Do you want to make a race?
Hey, you want to make elves?
I've got 3 points.
Oh, I'm not.
Do I have to make my own race?
Yes, you will have to make your own race. Oh, no, okay. Your character is a sub-race.
Okay.
So you need to create elves, basically.
I'd have to. I wanted to make like an ancient weird race.
You don't have to create elves right now.
You don't have to create elves
that
right
was what
now.
My question was. Yeah, eventually yes,
okay.
or do I have to do it first?
No. You can create whatever you want as long as but you will have to create elves at some point.
Okay. You want to make a race, Art? You want to forfeit your turn this time and make a race?
I have exactly 12 points.
Get a room.
Hey!
We have a whole 2 worlds.
Hey!
Flip a coin.
What do you want to make? Do we want to make? Let's see.
Or find new friend.
On the map.
Yeah. What's
up?
up?
Where should we put them on the map here? Do you think that will determine what kind of race they are?
Yeah.
I cannot understand what you're saying.
What? Where on the map? Where?
Exactly on this map with its features should we?
I'm gonna say they should be on both sides if they're the ancient race.
Well, no, they have to start somewhere.
They have to start somewhere, which will
They have
determine
to
how
evolve
they
from
look.
something. Yeah,
the crater.
Yeah, so if they start off in the desert and evolved from something desert, then they will have certain features. If they came from the tundra, they'll be probably furry.
It needs to be a place with natural resources. You can't just put them out of the crater because there's.
Well, there's a lot of fish there. They glow. Is what I hear.
I think they should be from where like that lava lake thing is, kind of a fertile crescent. Early
the primordial soup that they crawled out of.
Yes,
lava creates really fertile soil.
Or we could literally just make them an aquatic race and follow the race of evolution on this planet.
I don't want to do aquatic race as the first creation race.
Well, amphibious then, but yeah. Because then any ruins that they would make would be really interesting looking because they would have had to have gotten there from the ocean originally.
My only requirement is they are size huge.
Alright, I'll spend my points elsewhere.
Okay, they don't have to... Hey, no! Come back! I need those points! Why would you do that
I don't want to do that.
Nope. You don't have to do that! Oh my god! I really had to. You don't have to be a bastard. Alright.
You're marrying that bastard.
I know! Sure. What the hell am I doing?
Okay, just... If you guys could turn your webcam off and then argue somewhere else.
No, but off of CS's suggestion, if no one else takes hate fuck for their race, I'm going to take it for the tieflings.
All right.
Okay, but seriously, did you want to actually make this race?
Not a fish race.
I just said it does not have to be a fish race.
I was thinking like the originators, the ones.
But like the originators.
Yes, what do they look like? They have to look like something.
From some biome.
Literally the Protheans?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, literally the Protheans.
Yeah, but they have to have come from some biome, which is going to lead what they look like.
I like them being on the underside because it makes them look weird and alien.
Okay, but like...
okay.
What genre?
Okay, but where do they live?
Okay,
like where is their habitat?
Hold on.
Are they?
Okay, if they started off near the tundras on the bottom side, then they would be bigger. They would probably have fur or be thick and have blubber. If they came from if they came from the jungle, then they would look different.
Good place for like primordial stuff.
Make them come from the. Like, go for the actual delta there, the fertile plain. You got delta, jungle, ocean.
I thought they were maybe crazy and they're like almost like earth elementals race that actually just eats rocks.
You mean like Gorons?
I don't know.
I don't know about eating rocks, but
eat other things, a different nutrient thing.
Can we do a
high mineral diet?
So they crave that mineral?
Macros.
No, they don't.
Old man.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Good.
I was gonna say, why not spend the points, create a race, then iron it out while everyone else does other things until we hit another race creation.
You two happen to be in the same room. You guys can sit there and argue with push to talk off.
That's true.
Work out the details, and we can get on with spending
points.
We'll
make a race, and we'll argue offline. I have 12 points. Julie has 10, so I get 2 points extra.
So that brings it to me, right?
And they're not ghost people.
More like
mimic
people.
Ghost people, please.
No, you cannot make ghost people. Putting my foot down.
All right.
Book is never an option in this world.
So I have 10 points to spend. I'm going to add 2 more tiles worth of Tega, and I'm going to finish the mountain range around. It's 4 tiles of mountain range, so the 4 half tiles. So that's 6 points, and then that gives me 4 points, which is 2 climates to do 2 tiles worth of Tega, and I'm just going to continue it around the circle if you guys want to move on while I work on drawing it out.
Cool. That's Koznark.
That's about 2 tiles, right? Finishing off that mangrove around the island.
Control Z. I just want to see what it was before.
That does not work for me. I have like 1,500 windows open.
Yeah, it also doesn't work on Roll20.
There we go.
It does work on Roll20, but sometimes it's finicky.
Oh, I've never been able to get it to work.
It'll work one time. It doesn't do multiple. It'll undo just the last thing you drew.
Yeah, that's 2.
And then we're going to make it rainy. We're going to do rain as far as the environment.
You're going to make it rain?
Hey, it's a pupper.
Bork, 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 bork.
Nope, not your pupper. Well, also your pupper, apparently. I was talking about Hope's pupper.
She lick leg.
Cool.
Oh, that's my
I'm here
turn.
for bets and really nothing else.
That's my turn. I'm down for Spiros to go.
Cool.
Let's take a look at what we got going on. I am gonna add 2 more blocks to my tropics.
Cool. Is that your turn?
Yar.
Yar, matey.
All right. Then that brings up Art and Dame. Have you had any luck?
We have not had any luck so far. Suffice it to say, our race is he is using his points to make a race.
Okay, cool.
So, top of the order?
Cool. So, everybody, re-roll. Now it would be a +3 for anyone who's gone the past couple turns with 5 or fewer.
14 points! Yes!
Nice. 11. I'm happy with that.
I'm 11 after +3.
Yeah, I am too.
Same here.
All right, so
It's a nice system. It kind of like encourages to actually spend your points and not just sit there like, well, I want to make all the big things.
Yeah. So then what I'm probably going to end up doing is I am just going to, my desert is now fully desert. It's hot. It's terrible. It's oppressive. That's my 2 points, or my 11 points.
So, Hope?
Yep. Oh.
My turn?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
We got it.
So can we
Cool.
use
Does anybody
create-
have 11 points?
Okay, hold up. Before you do ask this question, Spira or Elvish and Art now have got it.
Yeah, we don't have a name yet. We're going to come up with that name.
Any answer? Any suggestions?
Oh yeah, and
Right.
chat,
Yeah.
please by all means help us out with this. So me and Elvish talked about it, and we are thinking about like almost a nature fae demon race. Essentially, they're the reasons why the environments are so extreme as they are spread out.
Because the reason they are like nature-based fae, they reflect a lot of the environment around them. They're basically just beings of energy, spirit, but they make material things.
Right.
So any place that's or many places where it's a weird extreme juxtaposition of things that don't quite work, or something that's super.
Like hate fuck.
It's literally, that's the ruins of their cities. They didn't build cities like the conventional thing. They just escalated environments to the extreme in places, and that was literally like a city for them.
Oh, cool.
So we
Awesome.
definitely need mushroom forests now.
I'm now going
yeah.
to spend my 10 points to Catastrophe and annihilate them.
Please do.
I mean, somebody has
They're
to.
basically like the fallen demons. They made the goddamn world.
All right, so now we go back to Hope, who's begging for 11 points.
No, I'm good.
And money.
Okay.
Begging is a strong
We
word.
got to raise the race up a little bit and like its magic and stuff, and then crush them.
All right, Hope. What is you doing?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Do you guys not like plan out your turn before it's your turn?
I didn't know how many points I would have, man.
I mean, that's fair.
Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do.
In the meantime, Zibs. Sorry, in the meantime, Zibs.
It's me.
Can I use create avatar to make a non like a super animal? Like an individual super animal, like the god fish, just a massive fish that's been around since the dawn of the planet. Not
I can dig it.
So much like powerful, but not necessarily fully sentient. You know?
Yeah, I'm into that. That's kind of cool.
Okay.
Can
yes,
can I do
no.
the thing that I did counting as one hex because it's like most of one and then a little bit of another? I just made another portal thingy at the bottom.
Yeah, no, that's totally one hex. Yeah, like I said, we don't need to strictly stick to the lines of these hexes. This is just kind of guidelines.
Okay. And then
strictly speaking, I stretched one of my points a little bit far when I made the climate of my desert, but like it's a desert, it needs the climate and the land, so it's there does not need to be exact per hexes.
And then that one and like the ones around it, I would like to make
lame.
like a nice Mediterranean climate.
Cool. All right, cool.
Is it me?
Yes, authoritative.
So if I wanted to use create avatar to make a god type entity, is that a thing I could do?
Like
a nature god, basically.
Okay, so we've already decided to create a god is to create a sect later on when there are races that worship that god or an order, and then you also get dibs on that god as well.
Well, because the thing is, I don't want to necessarily create a sect right now for this entity that's going to shape forests and stuff. That's the thing. Because I don't want to have to make a whole cult just to make a supreme being.
I wish IRL math was that easy. I don't want to have to start Scientology in order to get access to a whole divine being.
What's that? Avish?
I said this is what I was trying to do a couple turns ago.
All right. Yeah. So like again, this is a collaborative effort. What do we think? Like, do we want to be okay with this? Just use create avatar as that, or
this is me personally. I more like the idea of create a race that worships that god. Because that leaves it as more of a lore thing than a hard, this is absolutely a god who factually did this thing.
Yes.
It's more about this race believes this god did this and spreads the story.
Guys, really quick.
Yeah.
Just for some of the newer viewers and other people like that, yes, this is a system called Dawn of Worlds that allows you to take a map and you roll a certain number of points every turn to shape the map with literally adding climate, races, cities, and all that fun stuff to dynamically create a world for a D&D campaign to take place in.
Yeah, and the PDF is totally free. The guys who created it just wanted a system to make a world, so you can Google it, Dawn of Worlds. It's like 12 pages, which includes several pages of like maps and credits and stuff, so it's really not a very long system. It's working pretty well so far. I like it so far. Like, this is the first time any of us have ever played it, but it's working pretty nicely.
Yep, and we're in Age 1 right now, where we're actually focusing on the actual climate, mountains, things like that. We're starting on creating races, and then we'll continue with that, and then create events, like major events, like a big war or a catastrophe, that'll kind of shape the basic of the history.
So incidentally, you could just use the, I think, have we come up with a name for your race, Elvishard?
Working on it.
All right, but you could use one of them as the forest manipulator, forest creator.
Yeah, I'll just save my points for now.
All right.
The Discordians.
So you're just gonna save your points?
Yep. All 11.
Then Lady Dame, have you rolled for this round?
I have not.
Okay, cool. So
Sorry.
if you have, so you will get +3 if you have spent the past several turns.
Yes.
Not.
All right, so
at
12.
5. Cool.
12. We're gonna go ahead and advance that sucking civilization right there. That shit's gonna be great. So.
What is? Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Never mind.
It's 10 for 10 points.
No.
Yeah.
My question was answered.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna take 10 of my 12 points and advance the civilization, and I will hold on to my remaining 2.
All right. Cool.
So that's my turn.
I see a cat.
So whose turn?
Yes, Modi, it is your turn.
Okay, I have 14 points, and I'm going to spend all 14 to do 7 tiles of Arctic Hellscape.
Cat, stop moving my computer, please.
Wow.
Yes, that is what is happening. Is Mao.
Is that it, Modi?
Correct.
Cool. Arctic Hellscape activated.
Escape? What? Help?
Hellscape.
I've fallen and I can't get up?
Probably. That means it is Koznar's turn. Huh. There's still, like, several continents that haven't completely been untouched. Which, I mean...
Next turn.
Which incidentally, like, I'm kind of assuming, and, like, this, again, we'll discuss this, if anyone has anything to input, but I'm kind of assuming that if a square just doesn't have anything, it's just kind of plains.
Or similar to the nearby.
Yeah, I would assume, like, maybe that the closest thing fades out to some plains. So
yeah, and I would say basically, like, the continents that have absolutely nothing on them, they're just, at this point, completely just a continent of plains. Or, like, you know, hills.
We could even look at it after the game and say, like,
absolutely.
like, I'd love if this, like, again, like, if we have,
once,
like, 5
once we've kind of
squares
established... Yeah, once we've kind of established who the races are, where they are, like, what kind of people they are, you know, how they do stuff.
Yeah,
and then we're like, yeah, this entire island is just blank.
Yeah, we've got, like, 3 blocks of forest and then tons blank around it. We'd be like, well, let's add 6 more blocks because it's natural to have big forests, so.
Cool. So that's Koznar.
You tell me how much I would have to pay to get this to work. And I'm sure someone else will know where I'm going with this already. But I would like to create an avatar that is massive, and perhaps large enough and calm enough to be livable. How much would you like to charge me for that ability? Like, it's very slow, very large, and very old. And it just kind of... City, maybe? I could do Avatar and City?
How big are we talking?
Like half, maybe a quarter of a tile.
Right,
so like large enough for a small city, not like a massive, like a large town, I guess. Not even a town. It would be like a, I don't know. If someone put a race on it, we'll figure that out later. But for now, just a primordial, very old entity that just is very chill and walks around.
Probably at this point pretty small, but by the time things move on, Okay, so creating an avatar this at this point is 10. So that is the base cost.
And I know I'm asking for a bit of a special, so I was gonna say I could do like
that's totally cool. Like that's an awesome concept, and
I could do like avatar and land at the same time. So spend like 13 or
you know
so.
what? I'll say that will make your ancient fish that. And now, presumably, this creature, whatever it is, doesn't dive.
I hope not.
Yeah. Okay. So
I mean, I guess when it comes to the part in our game, well, no, someone could nuke it if they wanted, catastrophe it.
Yeah.
So I'm open to that, but for now, it's going to exist.
But yeah, so something that lives and floats along. Yeah, I'd call that 13. That makes sense.
I mean, I like it, so I'm not going to nuke it.
Yeah, I'm super into it.
We named the first race.
Ooh.
Elvish, say whatever the word was.
Oh, they're called the Akandi, which is, I'm making this language up as I go. So, Akan meaning people and D meaning first. So literally just first people. Literally just primordials, but like in a fancy sounding language.
I like it.
Awesome.
Wait, are you making, because I need to know, because I'm saving to make like primordials. And not like
they are
the first
Akandi
people primordials. I mean like the genie type primordials, because
okay. So that they exist on another plane somewhere because you need that for your race. That is just for you the create race cost -3. So if you wait until the race phrase, it'll only cost you 3 points because you need that to exist for your race.
Okay.
And that's less you're creating them and more this is the first time that they breach into the prime material plane.
Okay.
And then they've bred with whatever and kind of seeded the genetics into the generic populace.
Are we talking about the elementals?
Yes, because she is playing a genasi, which is she has basically genie blood.
So we are actually thinking that the Akandi came from the elements. That's why we derived that race, was that they were just a spin-off of the elements to this world, if you will.
Cool.
Which might mean that the genie race is now just a sub-race of the Akandi.
Or just like a branching, like the difference between us and chimpanzees.
Yeah.
Does that mean we have to, somebody, if not me, has to make demons and then tieflings?
No. Demons exist.
Okay.
Demons already exist. They exist in the abyss.
Okay.
You will have to spend create race -3 to make them break into the prime material plane for the first time, discover it, and start like fucking with it.
Fucking with it.
Are you putting the lime in the coconut right now, Articus?
I got coconut water and rum.
It all up.
I've stacked easily thousands of those on pallets. Everyone buys those shits at Amazon. Like, all right, so who is it? Kozar, did you actually finish your turn?
Oh yeah, I just created my guy.
Cool. Did you mark him on the map?
He's that little pink spot on the left-hand side.
That's what I figured. Obviously, he's not going to stay there, but it's good to just have like a reminder.
Is he like a giant turtle?
I haven't decided exactly. He's definitely not a turtle because that's a little overdone. So we're going to go something more original.
But yeah,
a whale.
Giant.
Yeah, that means it's Spira's turn. But yeah, this is your creation, and regardless of if it gets destroyed, you get to decide exactly what it ends up having been. Spira, it's your turn.
I am making the mushroom forest.
Nice.
So that's going to be those like kind of giant luminescent mushroom trees, probably kind of humid. Obviously like some other plants and stuff. There might even be like shorter other types of normal trees, but like the big thing is when you walk through it are these like gigantic looming mushroom trees and other kinds of fungi along the floor.
Beautiful. Cool. That means it's Art's turn.
Ever since Morrowind, I've always loved that biome.
Oh yeah, it's super cool, and that's kind of part of the reason why the underside has reduced light, so we can have that vastly different environmental status from the top side.
Yeah.
I don't know if this skill is used yet. So I was thinking right here. Underside. All right, it just exploded on my thing. But the underside
Bottom
about
left of
one
the underside?
right left side underside next to the mountain.
It's the bottom left part. Yeah, next to the mountain. Okay, cool.
Thinking about one square. It is only a evergreen pine forest. It gets enough light from the top side base because of the mountains there. From the reflections and everything that get transmitted down to it.
I'm into it because I've already established that this mountain is a weird mountain. It does crazy things. There's probably like crystals and stuff that, yeah, cool.
And
Sunstone.
And I'm going further. I'm going to spend also climate on the area too. It is because it's only a pure pine forest, and because it's a very cold, dry area, but when it snows, it stays there forever. The forest actually does that whole thing where it makes the water red. So it's a contrast of bark green of anything you look up with snow cover and this red rivers that just flow.
So red, green, and white, you're making Christmas forest.
So pine trees do actually create red water or something.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yep. No, it's in Jersey, I'm pretty sure, right?
Pine barrens, woo!
Totally doing basically
Cool.
pine barrens.
So now we start over. It sticks at +3. Go ahead and roll.
Ooh, 13.
Yeah, I'm really seeing the benefit to sticking with the what they want from a specific age, because that's this +3 is really starting to, like, be nice.
Yeah, I just got 14 plus with my extra.
Exactly. All right, so I have 10 points.
Oh, Lord Deather has a good question. Can we use climate to make areas that ignore the laws of physics? Like things go fucky?
I will say case-by-case basis. Like,
Fair enough. Or
yeah,
maybe
just
shape
kinda-
land?
Yeah, like I said, case-by-case basis. Be like, hey, I want to make a place that, whatever, that is a completely just an environmental anti-magic field. Magic doesn't exist here. Cool, talk to me. But I have 10 points right now. And we haven't touched a couple of things. You know what? I'm going to make a couple of mountains. And I'm going to make them here. Yeah, like big old mountain range right around the edge of where right around the edge of the most reliable place to cross. That'll be 6 points. And then I'm gonna spend 3 more points to make that forest up there on the northern top side bigger. And that will be my turn. Oh wait,
That island on the underside, middle west, looks like a really fucked up baby.
Fetus.
Cool.
Can't
So I
We
will
don't
end my turn
talk
with
about
1
Fetus
point.
Island.
I can't unsee it.
Okay, well, cool. I will make sure to make it look less like a fetus when I do the final map.
Also, be careful.
No,
of mildly
I would
penis.
like you to leave it if you can.
I do not want to go to Fetus Island, so please don't make it Fetus
The first
Island.
rule of Fetus Island is don't talk about Fetus Island.
We don't talk about Fetus Island.
Okay, cool. So I have spent my 9 of my 10 points. That would be your turn, Hope.
Yeah, can you explain to me how making a catastrophe works?
Spend 10 points. Say, this is the catastrophe, and it happens.
No, I mean, like, can you put a catastrophe in places that already exist, like land climate things that already exist? Or
what are we thinking?
a blight in those swamps would be pretty chill.
Rude.
But like, also that someone else made those, so I can wait.
Oh no!
I feel like a
so
catastrophe is a time limited thing.
Yeah, catastrophe is generally like now, if you want to create a blight and then have it affect the swamp in some way, cool. But it's not going to be something that lasts forever. It's going to be something that. So, I mean, yeah, that's
like we
fine.
don't
Because no land. The only thing that belongs to one person is an avatar.
Okay.
And you can kill off an avatar, but you can't change an avatar. Everything else doesn't belong to anyone. It belongs to the game. So if you want to drop a blight in the middle of the like an animal killing blight in the middle of the swamp, cool, go right ahead.
Never mind. I'm gonna pass turn.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm 3 points short of what I want to do. I'm gonna pass.
Cool, have fun.
Did you want a Captain Planet something, hun?
I kind of wanted to make the lizard folk now, but I mean, I can wait.
I can lend you 3 points if you want.
Sure, I'll take a loan.
Nice.
Lizard folk and swamp.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, that's fairly easy. They just evolved from regular lizards.
That's my turn.
Cool.
right. So I have
Lizard folk
9
are the
points.
first. The lizard folk are the oldest race in the game. That's interesting. Older
Next to
than
the
elves, which is-
primordials.
Well, yeah, but they're like we've already kind of established that they will get catastrophed at some point. So that's kind of cool.
Also, that's nice because that's how the lizard folk will have it will be the avenue through which we actually learn about the primordials.
Though strictly speaking, because strictly speaking, because you have not you do not have command race. They did not start in the swamp. They just are. Like until you kind of like command race and put a city in the swamp. Yeah, cool. It makes sense that they start in the swamp, but they just kind of are.
I don't know. My big plan with the lizard folk is to kind of make them a druidic power, kind of like elves in Lord of the Rings or whatever.
Incidentally, you did subtract your 3 points because it's your player race, right?
Yeah. So I was at 16. I needed 19. So
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure that you weren't taking points that you didn't need to.
So hope this lovely person gave me 3 points. That I'll never give back.
Do not.
It's a
compliment
loan,
Hope.
sir.
Do not compliment Hope.
Yeah,
I mean,
it does not as well. All right. So incidentally, this is the one of the few non-negotiables is any of the player races obviously cannot be catastrophed completely out of existence. So the lizard folk will be here for the rest of the game. They cannot be removed. You can fuck with them all you want, but
Yeah, but like
they're
they're like cockroaches at this point.
Wait, that's an insult.
Hey, you said roach. That's a drugs thing.
Ha, ha, ha.
All right, cool. So then that is
My turn.
Elvish Dame's turn.
Hey, Art, where do you want to put the city? The biggest city for them?
You know where I want to put it. The most obvious marker on this.
He
on the
wants to
whole
put it
thing.
around the crater. Is that okay?
Yeah, because
They're
they are
going to be
not
wiped out anyway.
Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
going to be wiped out. I basically have no problem placing a city anywhere. Actually,
Okay.
that actually kind of contributes to why
There's a city there in
to
the first
thing,
place.
Yeah, to the thing that I want to do. That contributes and is helpful.
It also could make it one of the most richest mines of ancient technology. And that's why it's been made a city there.
Yeah, like I said, there is that helps the thing that I want to go next to the rift.
I got you, boo. That was due to Zibani.
Yeah.
You gotta. It's like a high five. You gotta the wink.
Just if anyone wants to follow CS Graham's suggestion, he is asking for a race of cockroach people. So if you want to follow that,
or they could be called like something like bug lions.
I will make
maybe
cockroach
bugbear?
animals, but not people. That is way too many points.
Dardock.
Oh, so Moahala?
I mean, if someone wants to throw me 9 points, I'll go ahead and do it for the viewers.
I'll throw you 8.
Wow.
Okay, no, never mind. No, I take that back immediately.
It's funny because I was about to say I have 1. All right, cool. So if that's your turn, Dame, then it's Modi.
All right, I have 13 points, so I don't have enough to create a race yet, so I will go ahead and spend 12 on adding some, the way to put it, trying to think, like, kind of around, like very rich,
it's a
fertile,
VR chat meme.
super fertile, rich plains that are just like idealistic grasslands for farming and beasts of burden roaming and all this. So it's just beautiful place for civilizations to flourish.
Cool. And where is that?
That's going around the entrance to the fjord south of the Tega.
Cool. All right, Koznak, your turn. Yeah, it's really starting to definitely starting to shape up and looking like a proper planet at this point.
I'm liking it. I can hang out here.
A coin shape.
Take a vacation.
In volcano lakes.
Backpack around.
So, Koznak's turn.
Can I? Just follow me here.
Oh no.
Can I combine catastrophe and climate and make a firestorm that just roams around a continent, like slowly, like a hurricane that never quite dissipates? And not like fire tornadoes, like cloudy with a chance of fire.
So meteor storm?
I don't want it to be rocks, more like flaming, just like small droplets of flaming liquid, I guess, or fire of some sort. Well, I can confine it to an area. Like, I'll spend the climate points and just keep it in that area. It just kind of like gusts around there. It doesn't go outside there.
Cool.
I like it.
Do it. Yeah, because that'll make some interesting races.
Racist? What?
Yes,
Yes.
Racists are very interesting to try and get into their mind and understand why they hate Hope so much.
My wife, it hurts.
Right, we'll call that.
Cool.
This will be
P-Rock.
fire weather.
So would that So I've got a question. So would that naturally affect the terrain and the biome of Firestorm area?
Yeah, presumably. Like, it'd probably be very craterous. Probably be surprisingly fertile land if you can get over the fact that your land is gonna get fire rained on it, or you could ship soil out of that area. That'd be nice. But
So
yeah, it'll.
Is that where they make whiskey because it's firewater?
I saw that coming right before you said it, and I hate you. All right, cool. Spira's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna do some stuff And then you told me how much it costs.
About true 50.
Yes, 350 points.
Yeah, so Loch Ness monsters, stay out. That's too expensive.
There's a swamp.
Wait.
We have the technology.
We can rebuild him. Wait.
We could originally build him.
I was hoping for like a Jebediah Stain thing.
Okay, so essentially, because I'm off of CS's suggestion, which I loved, honing in on Lake Hatefuck as probably where maybe the demons did come through, and or where like kind of tieflings maybe liked to live early on. The gray is going to be like, you know, outside the actual lava area, very Icelandy. So there's like, you know, just some good few miles of volcanic ground and ash. Maybe not that big. I think I'm actually going to make that a little smaller. And then the other side's going to be some like kind of beach near the shore. And then the other two sides will be mostly kind of plains, but very fertile land.
All right, so incidentally, beach, I figure beach is just kind of assumed. If it's near a lake, if it's near an ocean or a lake, it's just kind of assumed there's a beach there. So you don't really have to spend any points on beach. And what'd you say was the green?
Plains, very fertile lands, like could be made into farm. Nothing like major plateaus or forests. And I made the black a little thinner. I got 14, so I'm good with whatever. Just figured you could decide because it's a little wonky.
I'll call that 4 worth of climate. So not that much because it's already, we've already kind of established that it's already plains. So I'm going to call the climate just make it more fertile.
Okay. I was looking to spend a little more, so let me see if there's anything else I want to do real quick. Okay, I know I want to do one more thing. Sorry, Roll20 is being weird.
Yeah.
I'm liking how it's looking.
Yes, it's really starting to look like a proper fantasy setting. A little bit colorful, but
I mean,
all right. So outside the mushroom forest, the giant trees aren't so much around anymore, but there are weird plants like you probably can't find anywhere else on the entire either side.
Like prehistoric ferns.
Yeah, and that's probably like more in the forest as well. But I like
magic,
the idea of
like almost magically corrupted stuff.
And there's probably even more in the forest. But I like when biomes fade out into others. Like usually you don't have a All
right.
So it's like a bunch that are half. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's another 6 points on top of the 4?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
All right, and art.
Yeah, so I'm going to do first blood on this. I'm going to corrupt a civilization.
Okay.
The original race.
Okay, so they take a step towards the evil. Why?
Here's the reason why. So they start taking the elements and the creation of their world to not just be something that they synergize with, but something that they gluttonize, causing extreme weirdnesses in areas that are not actually beneficial to the environment.
All right, cool. Into it.
Oh, and also I'm going to make more forests with blood bleeding on the other side.
As blood lichen, I can't approve.
But it will not be snowy because it's on the warm side.
Cool.
So you're hot and you're cold?
Yes,
yeah, based just on if the trolls live there or not.
The fiery death trolls.
And incidentally, he's hot and he's cold and he's up and he's down.
What about in and out?
Low.
I mean, I've got no doubt.
Hot for me.
Is this our last round of Age 1?
The last round of mandatory Age 1.
Okay.
I think we still need more just to flush stuff out.
I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking I was going to suggest taking a break if anyone needed it.
That's what I was going to say.
Cool.
We'll take like 2-3 minute break if anyone wants to run and get stuff. Anybody who's in the chat, as long as someone's around, feel free to ask us questions about the game, ourselves as players, what we're thinking about with this campaign, that sort of stuff. The channel in general, if you're new to it. And we will be back in about 2 minutes or so.
A race of spiders made of tornadoes. Or, and here's the alternative, gnaw.
I was trying to draw up the race that we made, the races, but
I just want to take a moment and thank you guys for outsourcing my world building work, because that just makes my life easier.
Anything for you, baby girl.
That's the best thing to do, is like, I don't want to do work, so I'm just going to make my players do it and tell them that it's fun.
So this is what I'm working on. I'm going to save up to build a race of cockroaches called the Amagers. And they're going to form a religion about the mighty Gif. And there'll be a civil war that breaks out upon these people as they devolve into whether it is pronounced as Gif or Jif. Like Gork and Mork from 40.
I'm gonna let you know I hate you, but like I did give you this power, so like I can't really complain.
The peanut butter spirits are on your side, Jif.
I'm also coming up with alternate names for their deity that still have. Ooh, they could be whether their lord's name is Gaff or Jaff. We'll go with that for graphic.
And then we'll have a small cult who are like, this is all wrong. You guys actually all screwed it up because his true name was GAF the whole time.
There'll be monks. There'll be hunter-gatherers. It'll be great.
You know what, Articus? Only I got that.
Hey, so I have questions for people. What are we drinking tonight?
water.
Golden monkey.
You're drinking horn.
People kept talking.
Next.
I am currently drinking Bell's Amber Ale.
Cool. So I am drinking two things tonight. This, two beers that I've never tried before. This is, it's a little bit more sweet than I like, but goddamn, it's good. It's a pecan porter, I believe. Yeah, it's a pecan porter, and it's solid. And the other thing I am drinking is also, I have had for the first time, Founder's Breakfast Stout, which is pretty damn good.
I'm drinking Pringles.
Zibani. I had an idea, since we definitely feel like the map's looking good, but there's still a lot of blank space.
There's stuff.
How about we do a few more rounds? We get to like double the space for the cost.
Yeah,
and if anyone has like objections, that could like keep us from doing something specific. But like if everyone's fine and we're like, I just want to fill out more forest here or more desert.
That makes sense. Like when you said I have a suggestion, that's kind of what went through my mind. So yeah, I'm into it because we don't need to take a bunch of extra time just being like, I make more forest.
Yeah. So I figure
or just honestly anything just or any terrain feature, any actual geography, just going to cost half until we move on to races.
Did someone say more swamp?
I say we'll listen to objections if someone's like, oh wait, I really did want this here. Yeah. We'll talk about that. But if everyone's like, no, more forest there's fine.
Yeah.
Just get our map filled out a little more.
Yeah. Because I think we're getting pretty damn close to being done with the problem is I do have a little bit of problem with just entire continents having nothing on them.
CS Graham had a question for you, Ben.
Hey. More serious suggestion, put some Asimar around those gravity fucky mountains that straddle both sides of the world. The duality of light and dark would give reasons for there to be protectors, scourges, and fallen. Incidentally, that is not my responsibility. That is Modi's responsibility.
I like the idea.
It is a suggestion. You could do it if you wanted.
No, I mean, yeah, I could, but like, I kind of want each person who's playing a race to create their own race. Like, I want them to have control over why the elves exist, why the Genasi exist. Like, I want them to have control. I don't want to take that from them, because that's kind of the point of this game.
Are we all back?
I think we're good.
I need to leave real quick.
Goodbye, sweet prince.
Well, I think we could get started with Hope anyway. I don't understand what your problem is with Fetus Island game shit.
I mean, yeah, I kind of want to get rid of Fetus Island.
How about we make that the garbage dump?
Yeah, I was planning on turning it into
garbage
and just making it really barren.
I like that,
right,
actually.
so-
Let's make it a gross place that one wants to go to.
Modi was here when you made your suggestion, yes?
I think he was.
Okay, well, let's just wait. Yeah, we'll
anyway.
wait. I'll make...
Loaded baked potato. It's weird.
They're very bacony.
Like, they're good, but they're weird.
All right. So because Spira is the only one who doesn't have headphones in, I'm going to say a suggestion was made. She made it that because we're basically like we're starting to feel pretty good about how the map looks. We're starting to get to the point where like we're getting ready to move on to the next phase. I am going to say for the rest of this phase, climate, land, anything that is terrain based, it's a bumper. Anything that's terrain based is half priced for the rest of this session or for the rest of this age. Because at this point, there's no point in spending a bunch of time just being like, I make more forests. So we're going to cut the price in half and just, it'll let us kind of fill out space without taking a bunch of extra rounds. So you get twice these squares for the same price. Cool. So now we roll for PowerPoints.
Because I ended last turn with 0, I get +4 now?
No. You never go past +3. And if you end a turn with 6 or more, then it starts back at 0.
So I've got +1 now?
Did you end the not previous turn? So not the last turn, but the turn before you ended with more or 6 or more? Then yes, you would have +1 now. Oh, garbage.
So I've got 10. That's enough for a catastrophe.
Nice. I rolled almost minimum. That's fun.
I got a total of 15.
Well then, you can just go elsewhere.
All right, so I will start off. I'm going to make some more forest. So that's all jungle down there. I want to make some forest, just regular forest, kind of here. So that is 3 points, and I have 3 more points to spend. I'm actually going to grow this forest a little bit more. Cool. That is my points. Like, I grew some forests.
Hey, Zibani.
Hey, it's me.
Is it?
That is the internet name I have chosen for myself.
What is it, Zibani?
How many points to make?
For you, only 1,000.
Everything that's on the east of that line, more tundra.
What line are we looking at?
So there's like the 4 hex squares that are tundra from before, and then I put a line to the left of them. How much to make everything to the right of that tundra?
Like, I'm gonna be... That is 2 squares worth, so, you know, like, that's 3 points. Because everything, again, is half-priced. Okay. We're having a going out of business sale.
Liquidation?
Yeah.
So, like, water's even
everything must go.
Cool.
So, catastrophes are, like, free?
That is, no. I said geographical things.
Just think about it for now.
Okay, I'll think about it until the next stage, and then my answer will still be 10, because that's the cost of the catastrophe through the entire game.
For now.
And then I want to make some mountains.
All right, Graham. Incidentally, the next age is gonna, like, races are super cheap, so we are probably all gonna go ham on creating races and civilizations. But yes, we definitely need some rising seas.
You know what?
I do know what.
No. I'm into it. I want to make the ocean just a little bigger.
Like any particular place?
Yeah.
Because I'm not about to move move every single line like a fraction of an inch in.
No.
You're gonna have to pick a specific place.
Yeah, of course. I'm not gonna make you make the tides go, go up.
Don't you dare take Fetus Island from me.
I'm taking Fetus Island.
No.
I want
yes,
Fetus
an abortion.
Island.
Fetus Island. We're having an abortion.
You're just gonna have to cause a catastrophe there.
I love Fetus Island.
Spend your turn making more fetus.
There goes our goddamn monetization.
Was it my fault? I'm sorry.
Wait, it's a medical term.
Coke does not want to advertise on that.
Calling Italy the boot one, you don't get demonetized for that.
It's not like we said we were gonna bring a coat hanger into the equation.
Okay, Zibani, thanks.
That was dark.
So I want to add some landmass.
Well, I think it's still hope.
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's really thin and very
this seems kind of hopeless.
Objectively, it is a mass. Shit. Yeah, I'll make the middle of Fetus Island the umbilical part. Like, let's make that real deserty.
The fjord in the middle of Desert Island?
It could be a cold desert.
The fjord?
Yeah.
Fjord.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
A thing that's basically a peninsula, and I don't know why there's a difference, to be completely honest.
No, it's more that it's a peninsula, and it's kind of the edges are called fjords.
Okay. I was gonna be honest, I have no clue what the difference between a peninsula and a fjord is.
And again, that term comes from Scandinavia. They call their, lining fjords.
No, that's just weird.
Yeah. Solidly.
Y'all need to read yourselves some Hitchhiker's Guide.
I need to finish it. I haven't read it all.
But granted, I read it in middle school, maybe high school, so it's been a minute.
I am not doing anything to spite you, Gamshin. I just love Fetus Island.
Is it my turn?
No.
No, Hope has not actually done the thing, or finished the thing.
It's got a necklace.
How much to make the middle there, the part that I have boxed in, deserty?
It's got a parched throat.
I'll call it 2 squares worth. So 3 points.
Cool.
Poor Cosmark.
All right, I'll fill everything in, but you guys can go.
Cool, do it. Hey, it's your blood.
I'm gonna command race to make a city in the swamps.
Hey, do it.
All right, I'll give a name for it in a minute. I gotta decide on
Yeah,
that.
cool. If anyone has suggestions for a city of lizard folk, now would be the time.
Lizard.
Mount Rushmore.
I was mostly talking to the chat. Yeah, a name of the city.
Nolans. Nolans would be great. N-A-W.
But there isn't an old Orleans, so there can't be a Nolans.
No.
I'm pretty sure there is an
N-A-W-L-I-N. Nolan.
No, I'm
I'm pretty
saying
sure
here,
there is-
there's not like the original Orleans.
Okay.
Nah, but you don't spell this one New Orleans. You spell it Nolans, and that's the
Yeah.
word.
It's not New Orleans, it's Nolans.
Nolan.
Nolans.
You guys are
All right.
so helpful.
I was just gonna say, like, you know what? Sure, but no. Glad to see you trying and participating.
See,
but
Mattel Owen is providing at least a reasonable response. This campaign is supposed to be relatively serious.
we're having fun, but we do want a place with okay names. We can give them shitty. We can give them shitty nicknames later, like, "Oh, you came from Swamp Ass."
Oh yeah, Lake Hatefuck is not called Lake Hatefuck.
No, but maybe the locals call it Lake Hatefuck.
So the name generator I'm using gave me Tasty Storyteller Keep, City of Abundant Shovels, Undying Chin Village.
Maybe you're using a bad generator.
I'm gonna have to agree
You're using
with
the
Hope,
best
which
generator.
Is, by the way, an apocalyptic scenario.
Some
You
of
are
these are
not
not bad.
kind.
Some of them are not great.
All right, is that regardless of the name, is that your turn?
Yeah, that was
Okay,
done.
cool. Elvish name.
Wait, I think I got 10 this time.
I've got a citadel of harmful desks.
So, let's see.
Zostolate sounds
What
fun.
constitutes an event, per se?
That's kind of anything that isn't covered by the rest of them. Like it's an event. I don't know. Like, I'm actually not sure what they meant by event. As far as I can tell, it's just kind of what covers anything that's not covered by the rest of it.
It gets cheaper in the civilization time, and then it gets more expensive again. So it has something to do with civilizations, like a giant event in history.
The race creation, you mean?
Yeah, for event.
Maybe it's like war. I think it's
So,
supposed to be shit like war.
Wars is command race or command city, because that's when you tell the city to go to war.
I think it may be like Golden Age. Like a
I
Golden
would say
Age
events
would be an event.
like solar eclipses or lunar eclipses.
Yeah.
That's pretty expensive for that, unless something happens.
Anything? Well, no. That would be when it's like culturally relevant to a new race. Anything like a hurricane that doesn't fuck over the race, like, so catastrophe would obviously be hurricane if it's destroying the race or destroying a city. But like event would be like if they see the hurricane coming and stop, and it leads them to change what they do, how they do, or a migration inwards. I don't know.
Okay. This is the last turn of the first stage, right?
No, at this point, at any time, if we all agree to move on to the next stage, then we all move on to the next stage.
Because I was going to go ahead.
Couple more rounds with the lowered price.
With lowered costs. So we're probably pretty close to done.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to go ahead and take my 10 points to make the catastrophe to kill my race off. Like the erase in the beginning and the end at the end of it.
Is that at a discount? Or does that cost full price?
That one does cost full price because you know what? Because it's the primordials, I'll call it at the discount price. because it's specifically the race that we do not want continuing on to the rest. I'll call that one a discount. But like any other catastrophes.
Okay, so what's the discount? Like 70% or?
No, we'll call it half.
Oh,
like,
50? Okay, so I still got 5 points. Okay.
Incidentally, we still need to know what the catastrophe is. Why did they die off?
Stuff.
And things.
Stuff.
People stop believing
I could be lazy and say no one knows.
Oh, no.
Mysterious.
Okay. No, you can't, because we know we are meta beings.
Shh. Don't.
I did corrupt them.
Zibani. What's wrong with
I did corrupt them on their blood.
Just call it hubris. No.
Hubris, right?
We are the fake
You
beat.
could go.
know what happened.
You could go with a changeling the dreaming kind of thing, where like the other races started like
There's only one other race.
zapping their
race.
energy.
This
Well,
is
no, when the other ones started coming to be, humans and tieflings and all these other things started taking their lands. Could have been like a long time
now,
thing.
but it's been
Nah, this is what
I
happened.
can come up with this later. Yeah,
They
but
just realized they were too good
5
for this
points
world
next.
and leave.
they just pop smoke and bounce.
Yeah. They saw
Regardless, we'll come up with something. But yeah, 5
Cool.
points to kill him off, and then still got 5 points.
I actually like.
I'm gonna make some stuff.
I actually like Ian of Ainsworth's suggestion, so I'm going to use it.
Luau attack.
The City of Scales.
Ooh. I like that, and then I think there should be something like in their language, so make up something else.
He did also.
Why not take
Luau talk.
Yeah.
Luau talk.
That's
Which
what I'm
is
saying.
their language for City of Scales.
I like it.
Yeah.
Into it.
I'm gonna make forest.
All right. Who wants to give me 6 points, guys?
I have 2.
I will loan you 6
For
points.
what?
To make a race.
Yeah,
What you
if I can have 6 points later, then yes.
Yeah.
So Hope is just going to call in all of her debts at once and just kill off everybody.
Yeah. Just call in all of her favors at the same time and not spend any points to do something big and dramatic.
Solid.
It's just another big old regular temperate forest.
Cool.
All right. I'll go ahead and borrow from Hope because I can trust her. Or she was the most vocal.
You hope you could trust her.
And I will go ahead. I don't know how exactly you want to do this because the Asimar are technically a sub-race, but I really agreed with Graham.
Like I said, for the people who are like half races, the create race for that race is this is the first time angels have stepped onto this plane and begun mingling with other things, and like this is the first instance of them stepping onto to reality. So
yeah,
Asimar don't yet exist because humans and other things.
But
don't
celestials
exist.
will exist at this point.
Lizard folk Asimar exist at this point, or they will start to exist here soon.
And maybe we want it to be a literal war in heavens. The Primordial Titans, the Celestials walked onto the earth coming from the mountain range that spans both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
That gravity fuckfest, and the Celestials pour forward from there, and could be a bloody civil war between
them and
the Celestials.
Yeah, between them and the what are they called? The Akandi?
Yeah.
That's an event.
Ooh, I like that. That's really neat. They literally went to war with denizens of a different plane. And that's a good idea for them.
And they get wiped out because of their hubris, because they're like, no,
Yep.
you're doing too much. Stop. Boom.
Too big to fall.
Literally Tower of Babel, that shit.
Nah.
They were gigantic. They were huge things. They were big.
Thank you for the suggestion, Graham.
Beautiful.
And that's
All
it
right.
for my turn. So, Koss.
Cool. Then good luck.
Hopeless, not trustless.
Nah.
We've been tasked with making bat people.
Don't you fucking dare.
They said that if hope makes it, it should be free.
Don't you goddamn dare.
A bat race. That just sounds batty.
Nah. To be fair, probably shouldn't spend that many points on a
troll idea.
If you're gonna make it, like, wait until the age of races.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You'd also make like a bat monster, which is only like 6 or 3 points.
Just including with my hot troll race.
Spider bat folk made of bees.
Wasps.
No, but
Wasps, not bees.
That bring thunder with them.
Spider bat folk that work in a hive sense. So there's even a queen.
And they are like magically connected to the nature of thunder. Let's bring all the phobias in here.
I don't have a problem with bees, but when you say that they operate in a hive sense, you took the one thing I hate about bees.
but that's
the scary thing about their hive mentality.
Yes, spiders from me, bees from Blood Lycan, bats from you. We'll take thunder.
And they're electric type from me because I'm scared of fucking thunderstorms.
Okay.
Cool.
So here's what we did. That blue is so hard to use, but for some reason we used the actual like water blue for ruins.
Looks like a penis.
There's only so many colors, yeah.
Yeah. But so what happens here is the blue dotted kind of area is the puddle lands. It's just like Swiss cheese land with small puddles though. No big lakes, nothing like that, but lots of small puddles. And just as far as you can all the way up to the Firelands, and I'd say there's like a really nasty sort of like steam wall that you kind of got to walk through there from the puddles and the fire meeting. There's some green, like lush, like tall grass going through trails through the puddlelands that animals use a lot. And a little bit of like a green plain in the middle, not large, but small. And then along this coast down to the south is a whole bunch of that really, really tall grass that extends up through there.
Cool.
Would you call that, what, like 6, 10?
Is this that on the dark side, that giant blue that you just...
No, it's on the left side near the firestorm.
Yeah, so below the firestorm is the puddlelands, which is just like dirt, rock, and puddles, and like mosses and those sorts of vegetation, but no actual like trees or anything like that can take hold.
We can call that 10.
How much you say?
We can call that 10.
10 for all that?
Because we're getting pretty close, and like I'm not trying to hold it up too much.
Yep, that's happy with me. 10 for that. And I'm good.
Spira.
Meow.
Wait, so where was all of that just taking place?
Far left of the top side.
It's under the fire.
Oh, okay. I see.
Cool. All right, then that's Spira's turn.
All right, I wanted to build up this desert in a bit of an Egyptian way. So we've got a big river that deltas down into the waters south, and then actually go to the edge. And I love the idea of like they spill over, and then because of the gravity fuckery, kind of spill out.
Yes,
maybe like
that is
of the world.
Actually, that is a thing that is not common necessarily. That happens where gravity fuckery, like there are several places around the edge of the disc where water leaks over that it will fall and waterfall down or up. So there'll be plenty of places where you can like go and it's like, oh, water's falling up. Yep, that's weird.
But it's kind of thing this would be especially be like more almost like fireworks because it's 3 small deltas instead of a giant bed of water. So it's kind of like a thing people actually like try to go and see. And then that green that's kind of next to the river and then surrounded by more desert. It's going to be a little oasis-y, like an actual nice Egyptian
That's a
city.
big old oasis. Okay, cool.
Yeah, well, like a Cairo kind of thing. That's like, you know, it was a good place to live, even though the surrounding area was worthless. And that's me, however much it is.
Oh, so you added a bunch of desert, didn't you?
Yeah, it's about 8 tiles, including the oasis, and then I did a river. So, like,
You know,
maybe 9?
like, yeah, you know what? We're getting damn close. I will trust people's judgments because I don't think you're gonna. Not to mention, like, there's no real way to win this. So,
I think it's about.
What are you talking about? I'm winning. I'm in the lead.
No, he's right.
GM, you just have negative 30 points.
Dang it!
That's what you get for saying you're winning. You don't even know the rules.
The game.
Alright, that's me. So Art.
Cool. Articles.
My turn?
Yeah.
Si, senor.
Yeah. Let's see. So how much points are you costing for territory stuff?
Half off.
Eh.
So you get 2 tiles for price 1.
Oh, gotcha. Let's see. I'm gonna screw around with the area down here. I'm gonna kind of like on the southern disc, the whatever we call it, underside on the south. I'm gonna put some kind of rocky terrain here and kind of just make it a very port area, kind of like Iceland, Greenland area.
Okay.
And you know, a little bit here, and then just a little bit of a mountain range like up here. And with coast, lots of coast, lots of cliffs, lots of coasts.
Cool.
One price.
All right. So at this point, this is this upcoming round is round 7.
How much does that cost?
It
looks like
how much?
4 or 5.
Call it 5.
All right.
Yeah. At this point, how are we happy with the state of affairs?
I think the side on the far left just needs a little bit more.
I was going to say, I wanted one more turn because I was going to finish out that continent on the left that I've been working on.
One more turn, and then we move on to the Age of Races.
Yeah, I like that idea.
All right, so everybody roll dice.
What? No!
If I could get anything higher than 5.
Plus 6.
Modi, hear me out.
Plus 6.
14.
I thought it only is plus 3. Is it plus 6?
No.
I have
borrowed.
It is
20.
He owes me money.
Okay, so
Oh.
it's a matter of you can only go up to plus 3, but it is also plus whatever you've saved up. So
I have 9.
I got 14. I'm pretty happy with that.
Wait, are you paying me back right now, Bodhi, or later on? Oh, he didn't have his headphones in. Hey, Modi!
Yes.
You paying me back now or later?
Right now. I said you get my plus 6.
Oh, hey, thanks, baby girl.
Sorry, I don't know what I did with my stylus, and I'm trying to find it.
All right, give me 1 moment, please.
I won't give you a moment, but I'll give you a Mamba number 5.
All right, so what I think that I am going to do, I'm going to make some Badlands over near over kind of near where Koznark's fire death place is.
Well, it's fire and life. That's why it's cool. It's like
I
fertile
dig it.
green lands, water with like a water barrier, but like fire. I don't know. I like that.
I do too.
Oh, this area that I've marked off in X's here, it's kind of a Badlands sort of area. You know, like like dry terrain, like yeah, kind of steppes. Because story reasons. And I am yeah, it's easy to cross over. Like it's not necessarily a problem to cross over, but you know, it's not exactly the most fertile area. And yeah, I'm gonna save 4 points, which will keep my my +3.
So what you're saying is you can cross over the other side over on that spot?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, okay, yes, that will be another place that you can cross over. However, there are other reasons that I'm going to keep a little bit secret for plot reasons that you don't really cross over there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to spend 3 more of my points to kind of make some Badlands that actually extend over to the other side.
Oh, actually, I have something similar I want to do there. So what do you mean by Badlands?
I don't know. It's very clayey. It's not terribly
Okay.
fertile over there. It's there. It's basically it's tough grow or stuff grows there very sparsely.
Okay.
Does this cause problems?
It's fine. I mean, it's your turn. My one thought was, so I talked about the mushroom forest was going to be pretty dense and have some really like magical stuff growing there, and then the pink spot outside is similar but not as dense and less good stuff. I was going to have kind of from that pink spot going to the edge a really insanely dense forest, like practically like you can't really see without light, no matter what time of day it is or whatever else like that. And similarly, there's good stuff to forage in there, but it's dangerous.
All right. So I think we can because it's kind of, you know what? 1 second. Let me look at the map.
I could put it somewhere else. I could even put it with the more tundra-y Scandinavia area we were doing.
You know what I think I'm gonna do?
I just like the idea of like a spooky forest that's worth going into, but dangerous.
I'm gonna shift things a little bit to give you access because I don't know. It sounded like you kind of wanted it towards the edge.
I like that idea because even maybe
okay,
like
cool.
if I have might try to spend some points to make like will-o-wisp type things that are like
cool,
dangerous. You might
then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to shift it up a little bit and kind of, and then you shift your super dense forest down.
Perfect.
So yeah, that will be my turn. So I don't need necessarily. I don't need to like wait for my whole turn to finish drawing that. So yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right, so Hope.
Sure. I will make a little bit more swampy climate. Yep.
Ooh, swamp.
And that seems like 3 squares. That's not just me thinking that, right?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't even know where you put that.
It's next to the swamp that exists already.
You just made the swamp.
Oh,
No, like I put it on the island across.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Alright, next. Or are you done? Sorry.
Thanks, Kaz. I'm done.
I'm just trying. I'm having a hard time deciding what I want to do. Does anybody need any points or want extra points? Because I've got 9.
I could definitely use some with your inspiration.
What would you like them for?
Do you see that island on the left side and the under side? It needs a theme.
Oh, so
where?
Far left, right next to Edge City.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think he means the one that hasn't had anything touched on
No
it.
one's touched it. It needs some love,
like,
bro.
like it's technically attached to that mountainous region, but
yeah, but it needs love. What should go there?
What kind of love?
Well, there's usually some sort of uniqueness that's kind of forming on these areas. I don't know what the hell that pink glob is in the bottom right, but we got some ice, we got some mushrooms, we got the whole Nord kind of thing going on up there.
I think the bottom right is the Mediterranean.
yeah, Mediterranean type area.
Yeah.
Okay. So it needs a theme.
Do you have any ideas with that?
Well, we already got tropical. We already got swamp.
Mountainous, maybe?
Okay, so this is me. That is Edge City. That is kind of like the place where everybody crosses. I don't necessarily want mountains that are gonna block people from being able to cross there. That's
literally supposed to be an open.
like that is the primary place that people cross over once they discover that gravity is kind of fucky over there. Like
Wait,
that's
the place
Here's an
surrounded by
idea.
the Mediterranean over there?
No. The place in like direct middle of the map where it the 2 circles meet, that is where the most reliable place to cross over is.
What if the coastline wasn't swamp, but those like grasslands that like a lot of people like go to hunt birds and stuff? You know what I'm talking about?
Like plains, grasslands?
Yeah, it's like like fishing villages and stuff like that.
Floodplains. That's what they're
You
called.
could make
Are we
it.
still following the clockwise thing or not?
You could make it
Yeah.
forest plains.
It's my turn. I'm just asking.
Yeah, he's
Grasslands,
You're
Gabe-
fine. I just got lost for a second.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Gabe was just asking if someone wanted to
Grassland,
share points.
floodlands, where it's like it's not swamps because it's still like bright and there's like solid ground, but it's like there's a lot of watery
Wetlands.
bits, wetlands kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll spend 6 points to make that wetlands. Like wetlands, grasslands.
Or whatever the underside's equivalent to that is.
Yeah, I gotta wait for Van
It's
to
gonna
get
be a
back.
little
Maybe they're
darker.
blue.
Yeah.
Maybe they're bluegrass.
Ooh, that'd be really cool.
No.
Paddle faster, guys.
Oh no, it'd be great if it was like purple grass, but had that like green iridescence. That'd be fun.
Okay.
All right.
That blooms white flowers.
Oh my god, I want to live there.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Feels really good to be making a fantasy world again. Like it's been so long.
I will do this stuff for fun for no reason. So this is really awesome. And like I feel like I had all these skills I've been working on and they finally are useful.
Hey guys, sorry, we're gonna have to rename the channel to World Builder Spira, as every Friday we're going to.
Well, like, I also appreciate this because this setting has been floating around with me and Van for a while, and it's really just, like, solidifying a lot of stuff, which is really cool for me. Oh, he's back.
Nice.
I think.
Ed?
Welcome back, sir. Meanwhile, the Hall of Doom.
So have we decided what far left
Like
is going to be?
luminescent grasslands with purple grass.
Ooh.
And
Let's
white
see.
flowers.
Wait, is that what you just drew in, Lycan?
Yeah, the big purple splotch. I spent 6 points doing that.
Can we
Ah, that is wonderful.
cut like a path through it though? Because it is still like the jugular to
It's
travel
not
between
thick.
the two places.
It's grasslands. Grasslands are
Yeah.
pretty easy to.
You can walk across them, no problem.
Oh, I thought you
It-
said they were flooded
No,
plains.
they're grasslands, but like purple
What?
grasslands.
Wetlands, a little bit.
Yeah, it's not
Like
like
rice.
moist.
Moistlands.
Moist.
Moistlands.
No.
Added to the
Moist
legend.
outlet.
Added to the
There-
legend.
Moistlands.
100% confirmed. They are moistlands. That is the biome that they are.
No.
Not the slightly damp lands.
Someone added to the legend. Quick, moistland. And then Hope, I have 3 points if you need those at some point.
You can give them now or some other time if you want.
Right.
I don't care.
You can have them now. Cool.
So that means Elvish turn.
My turn. All right, I got 13 points, and I'm going to spend all of them
Nice.
making landmarks and shit. So hold on.
Cool.
Let me get my stylus. Okay, there it is.
That makes me moist.
No.
I only read that image in that voice.
No, honey.
Hey,
That moists me up.
All right, who's
No.
that?
No,
No.
honey, no. Okay.
No.
Okay, it makes them damp. They're damp lands.
I like damn plants.
No, I definitely need some ointment for that moistness.
Ointment.
Where are you from, son? The damn plants.
All right, so we are going to go ahead and extend this mountain range
Oh,
all the way to the coast along the edge here.
I'm a little depressed that not enough people here read Hitchhiker's Guide because the Moistland sounds like the perfect place for the yes, for them to
The
Save
flop
your
around.
damn shtick for the actual campaign, please.
Well, I take your Hitchhiker's Guide and raise you. I am disappointed that none of you sluts have read Hyperion, because that book is fantastic.
Like, don't even
And
know what
it's
that is.
sequel.
To be honest.
I
It's
take your
fantastic.
Hyperion and raise you. I'm just disappointed in you.
I mean, none of y'all have read.
Okay, Dad.
Fuck all y'all. Fuck all y'all. None of y'all read my favorite book.
So that's what it's like to have a father.
Actually, no. Blood Lichen. Blood Liken's read my favorite book, but that's
I don't know what your favorite book is.
called Sabriel by Garth Nix. It's about like a good aligned necromancer that puts the souls to rest, and I fucking love it.
Your camera's
I'm
getting a
just
little bit
saying,
foggy.
we've
Goes back.
both read Hitchhiker's Guide
you're-
like 5
Are you
times
taking
and
your
listened to the
shower
audiobook
class?
like
Why
6
is it
times.
so foggy?
And we still laugh out loud every time. It's amazing.
Cuss!
You're foggy.
You're foggy.
You're drunk.
Sober
I can't
up,
go
quick.
home. They won't let me.
There you go. It fixed.
Okay, there you go. So I put some mountains, and then down on the south, on the top side, behind the forest, is some big rolling plains, Rohan-esques, with like the rocky golden plains.
Where's that?
Nice.
Like Rohan, where it's like aggressive.
Where's that?
Bottom
Rohan,
right on top side.
Cool.
So this between the
We
the
needed some Lord of the
between
Rings
the
in
fucking
here.
mountains. So there's like shore, then there's like forest, then there's some nice rolling hills, and then there's the fucking gravity mountains back behind the rolling hills where like you'll see them break up and then come back down.
Cool.
Rohan rides to Gondor.
I was gonna say, we
Okay.
needed some Lotar in here.
All right, Moody.
I'm gonna expand upon Elvish's Dame's idea with adding that river in the top left of Darkside, and just make that kind of blank area of the peninsula just like land of rivers.
Oh wow, so super rivery Delta E.
Yup.
All right, so that's going to be super fertile. Like, there's going to be a lot of cities over there.
Yeah.
I mean, just clean it up.
Oh, I like
idea.
how how my kind of Euphrates Tigris also is like almost opposite of the undersides.
Yeah, right?
It's probably the same river.
Actually, yeah, like that one might be like
I think that's the same river.
You know, I'm gonna say that is
they
the
kiss in
river.
the air.
I feel
it's two waterfalls that like meet in the middle. That's
I'm gonna
weird.
say that sometimes it flickers, sometimes or it's one of those flickering areas that sometimes it just transfers from one side to the other. No, actually, I feel like it makes more sense that there is a portal to the water plane at the edge of the coin there, and it leads to both of those rivers.
I could actually turn. I was gonna say you could turn the river a little bit
That
more.
would make them like holy rivers to an extent too, right? Yeah. If you could make a thing around that.
Elvis, can you draw like two people made out of water doing the touch of Adam and God picture?
What the hell?
All right, I connected the two rivers and put a giant swirl for like the water plane portal, so we have a note there.
Nito Bandito.
Please don't ever say that again.
Why not? I enjoy being this white.
It makes me like you less.
that is a fair voice.
Please don't
Really?
make that the motto of our D&D game.
Nito Bandito is not the motto of our D&D game.
No,
Okay.
No,
makes me
you make us
Makes
moist.
me moist.
that might be the motto of our D&D game.
It might.
You keep messing around. I will put it
Chocolate.
on the actual overlay.
Alright, so Zips.
Hey, it's me. Always with the like combining two that you love your combo disciplines over here.
Well, I mean, like, I'm just trying to make something. It's a fantasy game.
It's cool. It's cool. Absolutely.
I want to make the Marianas Trench, except it's not just full of it's two massive waterfalls into a ravine in the ocean. Like, I don't know where the water goes. Maybe there's some holes down there that take it to like the earth plane or the water plane or something, but it's just like a massive line of just waterfall, but in the middle of the ocean.
So wait, I'm sorry. Where, like, what? It's falling from what to what?
It's falling from the ocean into I don't know.
So like a rift in the ocean.
Yes, but it's actually a line with waterfall on both sides.
So the ocean's
okay.
pouring into it.
So like okay, so like you basically took a sword or something and slit the ocean down the middle, and that's super dangerous to traverse on the ocean.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm so into it.
Okay. It's not going to be like world-endingly huge, because you know it's actually going to be like you could sit on each side in a boat and look at the other side. But this huge, it's almost like a river in an ocean where you have to go around it.
Yeah, it's a reverse river. That's cool.
I'm like stupid.
An anti-river?
A nega river.
And I know dark blue is our ruins color, but this isn't ruins.
Oh no, I well.
No, it's fine.
Worst case scenario, I can go back and watch this and find out where exactly. Like, what the fuck is that? Oh, okay, that's what that is.
The
Like, that's the
scribble at the top.
greatest part about streaming is that I can go back and figure out what I missed.
Yeah.
Moistlands coming to a campaign near you.
No.
Also
So I'm
served
gonna-
with free
No.
cake.
That word doesn't even bother me. It's just like, why would you name it that?
That's why I'm upset. You don't name a campaign the Moist Land.
Oh, we're absolutely not naming the campaign the Moistlands.
Why not? The moistity.
Because that's not gonna be the theme of the campaign. You're gonna be like being like heroes and like saving the world, and that does not.
Yeah, but that could make some
Moistlands
eyes
make.
moist, and then those would be moist land.
All right.
Nope.
So how much would that cost me? That little bit there.
I mean, like one.
Well, I don't have many, so I'm trying to be stingy with
Yeah,
them.
no, like one. Like
Okay.
at this point, we're just like trying to finish everything up so we can move on to races.
And one thing we don't have yet that I really
Vroom.
want
And don't forget, you can add stuff in the races stage too. You don't have to do it.
You can
all
change
now.
the terrain in races stage.
That's a plateau.
Oh, okay.
Just a large, high elevation, but perfectly flat and grass on the top plateau.
Where's that?
The big red bit.
Okay, cool.
So that's just flat out, not mountainous, just full on plateau. Because I feel like every good world needs a plateau of some variety. Like ours has one. I think Earth's pretty neat, so but I passed now, I'm good. I was gonna say, can I do 6 for that?
Sure, go ahead.
Right, you're up, Spear.
All right.
Nice mustache, Hope.
I
Solid
can't
10
tell
out of
you
10.
thanks without losing the mustache. So,
10 out of 10. It is a sexy mustache.
thanks.
Like looking into the past. And by that I mean watching the stream.
All right, so that's about 5. And like I said, my idea was that that would be like insanely dense forest, like incredibly hard to see if you don't have like good lighting. And a question I had was if it can have like essentially non-sentient Fey types. Like will-o-wisps are things you can walk up and have a conversation with, but they have like a drive, you know what I mean? Like fucky imp type creatures that aren't really like fully sentient but have like drives.
So if they are connected to another plane, I would call that maybe like an event. I don't know what I would call like a portal to another plane. But if they are solely native to this plane, I have the create monster stat block or the cost, which next phase will literally be 3 dots or 3 points.
Okay, yeah, I'll save that then. I just wanted only like 1, maybe 2 would be things that kind of like mess with people if they walked into that forest. So it's useful to go in that forest for the plants and things that are there, but like it's very dangerous. You have to have your wits up, be in a group.
Incidentally, they are not will-o-wisps because will-o-wisps are like they have a stat block, and that's not what they are in D&D. But they will be something along the lines of what you're saying. They're just not going to be will-o-wisps.
Mischievous imps that fuck with people.
But will-o-wisps are very, very unintelligent creatures.
They're wisp willows.
So
anyway.
And now we're up to art.
All right, so Underdark area, top left.
Incidentally, that is not the Underdark. There is also an Underdark, but that's...
Oh, is there? Great, because I was about to create one if there wasn't.
No, there is an actual Underdark where like drow and stuff come from, but...
Woo! All right,
like primarily the reason that
the
reason that they don't exist on this map is because I just didn't know how to draw that on a map. Because they're labyrinthine.
This area right here that I just like marked up.
Bottom right?
Top left. Underside. Top left.
Okay,
south of the rivers. That shit is windy as shit.
Alright.
Lots of very powerful storms like to hit it. It rains like crazy.
Cool.
Some climate shit there. Hopefully not the warming kind. Alright, so in this area, going back to my pine forest, and I expanded it. That's pretty much what I'm doing. That's it. Just expanding it kind of south.
Cool. That is the end of this phase. Are we all in agreement that is the end of this phase?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm okay
I
with
could
it.
say no just to be a dick.
Well, I overrule you. So that means we move on to the creation of races phase.
We roll again?
That sounds racist.
It is very racist. Yes.
Do the points carry over?
No!
Yeah. Yes, your points. Everything is completely the same except for point cost. That is the only difference now.
If we still are spent all our points, are we still getting the +3, or is that resetting?
Yes, everything is exactly the same. The only thing that has changed is the point costs. No.
Do we keep our +3 across this?
Yep.
Yeah.
If you have reason to have kept it, if you are still staying below 5 or 5 or below, then yes, you get to keep it.
So we rolled the same thing, brother o' mine.
Oh hey. Did we roll? Oh yeah, no.
No,
I
you
rolled
did
a 1 and a
swap.
6. You rolled a 6 and a 1. That's
You rolled the
very
opposite
different.
thing?
Yeah, so we're so different. All right, cool.
Twins.
All right, so
Who's gonna get batty?
No. Why? Just why?
She's gonna kill the race off. You gotta wait for the last,
absolutely.
echelon. Yeah. Just wait for
So-
points to drain.
I have 10 points. Actually, I need to like look at the cost of things now. So give me a second on that. All right. So roll up. Create a race is now 6 points. And then oh, beautiful. So I am going to create a race, and then I'm going to create a city through command race. The race that I'm going to create is humans. They're kind of like the race that everything kind of spawns from, though they probably have forgotten it plenty by the time that, like, you know, our campaign starts. It's been a long time, and people will plenty be like, no, we're not from humans, though they technically are, because races other than lizard folk are going to be the oldest race. So I'm going to create a race, and then I'm going to create a city. So now we need to get to. I'm just selecting color.
I think we could use tokens, which might make it a little easier than
I don't know
colors
if
on top of colors.
have tokens.
You can use free ones from the one tab. Hold on.
Because like I Google city, you know, I'll do this. All right, there we go. That is a house, and that will be kind of a city token. So I'm going to create a place, and so this is where I want to start getting a little more narrative, because it's less geography and more like whys and whos. So this house is going to represent cities. And the humans, they evolved from, you know, whatever it is they evolved from apes, from something like that. And the first real place that they started founding was in this little cliff area that I created earlier. And I'm gonna shrink this in here in a second. In this little cliff area, there is a hollow of like red stone, where it's just this like cut out area, and that's where, like, that's the first place the humans really start like gathering to build a city. So, you know, obviously there are tribal humans all over the planet, but mostly topside, less bottom side. But the first real city is a place where they built a town in this place called Red Hollow, and they started growing it.
What age are they in?
This
Iron Age, Bronze.
This is like Stone Age, like
Stone Age city.
This is the seed of a city. This will become a very big, very like the iconic human city, but it hasn't become that yet. But I still want to like spin the command race dots.
What was the place called?
It's called Red Hollow. Literally because there is a red hollow in the cliff face where and that's basically, hey, you go to the Red Hollow, that's where you'll find our town. And it just kind of evolved from that.
I'm going to take some at least super basic notes of where races are.
Yeah. It's just this is like my baby city. Like this, I have had this city in my head for years, and it's definitely involved.
Could you give me a house token, or put a house token over the black dot near Loltak?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just figuring out how to do this and not have it be the size of the entire square. Give me a second. But yeah, so that will be my turn. Hope, it's your turn.
Yeah. I will make the elemental race finally interact with the world. If that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I go right ahead.
And then I would like to have them have some sort of small gathering in, if this is okay with Kos, the trench that he made in the bottom of the ocean. At least in terms of water elementals.
So wait, have the primordial beings been killed off yet?
Yes.
Yeah, I killed them off.
Just being sure.
What were you creating in Rare Hope?
I was hoping to make, and this is contingent on like, Kos, can I put some water elementals in your trench?
I mean, as long as they can get out of, 6,000 foot of waterfall, go for it.
That sounds dirty.
In the most gameplay-iest way that is not related to things.
Water elementals in your trench.
God. But yeah, go for it. Have fun. Have fun.
Okay, cool. If you could put one of those little guys in the trench, Zibani.
One of the cities?
Yeah.
Did you spend the command race points for that? Okay, cool.
Yes. And I'm at past turn.
So wait, how many races are there now? There's lizard folk, humans, and
well, okay, so the Aasimar have kind of shown up, which means that there are probably some, the Celestials have shown up, which means there are probably some Aasimar, human and lizard folk. There are also some Genasi, human and lizard folk, but the only actual, full-on races that exist are humans and lizard folk.
So the Genasi are what you're putting in the trench?
Yes, that is what I'm putting in the trench. All right. Or the primordials, so that the Genasi can exist.
All right, I'm going to spend all 10 of my points to advance my civilization twice.
Nice.
So as they kind of explore some of the ruins that are left over from this war of primordials and celestial, they start to gain more understanding of how to manipulate nature around them. So they start becoming more of a druidic power.
Cool. So what, out of curiosity, so one advance is what are you trying to suggest that they are capable of at this point?
First advance would be good buildings out of natural resources, so
right.
Nature crafting homes. Next would be domination of plants and animals around them and in their study.
Incidentally, just because this is the thing, another non-negotiable, Red Hollow stays there. Red Hollow never goes away. I'm fine with catastrophes, but it's just going to stay there and keep building. Cool.
Quick question, just for the notes. Hope made water elementals, but you said that'll count for making Genasi?
Yeah, that she spent the create race to make the elementals enter the plane of enter the primordial plane.
All of them?
Yeah. At this point, yeah, basically all of them. So Genasi have started showing up at this point, but only, obviously lizard folk Genasi and human Genasi.
So I think that.
Do you
makes it elvish?
Have a name for your water elemental
I totally will in give me 2 seconds and I'll figure it out.
You could just do something classic like Udine.
All right, my turn.
Also chat suggestions.
Chat.
Yes, please, chat. Help us fix our game.
Absolutely.
Damn it, chat. Keep up.
Okay. First things first. I don't know how the Fae particularly exist. Do I have to make them?
So what you have to do is you just have to make like the elves.
So the Fae already. I don't have to make the Fae.
Yeah, Fae are just gonna like Fae will be a thing because there are already Fae. At some point, I want you specifically to use like an event or a command race to send some of your elves to the Feywild, but your art need to like create the Fae, or I'm sorry, create the elves.
Okay, I only need to make the elves. I do not need to make.
Yeah, at some point, I want you to spend like an event or a command race to send some subset of them to the Feywilds.
I have 9 points. I'm going to make the elves. So that's 6 points. And then I am going to... Nothing, because I can't really afford anything else.
We've established we can borrow. How far are you off?
I have 3 points left, and I wanted to make
a city for him.
Yeah.
I'll lend you a point.
Yeah. See,
hey, thanks, bro. Outsourcing. All right.
I'm just waiting for those like catastrophes in a row.
Okay, so I want the elves to have originated here. Like in the middle of the forest near the Fucky Mountains.
Okay.
I really need to come up with a better name. But for now, it's clarified. But yeah, the elves originated there, and some of them went to the grasslands, and some of them went to the coasts, and they kind of spread out so that continent will be there. Like,
all right, which ones? I'm sorry, which ones are? The Fucky Mountains are the weird like gravity place.
The one on the bottom right of the top side. Yeah. So, but they originated. Their first city was in the forest of the first like Stone Age elf city was in the forest.
So, like around here.
Yeah, perfect.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're gonna need a name for that too.
Let me do. We're gonna call this. Give me a second. Come back to me. Come back to me. I'm looking up actual Elvish words, and I know a couple, but I need to like look them up. So
yeah, no, I got you. X-Packy, we all love staring at Articus. His beard is fairly glorious.
No, it just is glorious. Not fairly. It's just amazing.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like, I was trying to be, modest or something, but you're not wrong. All right, so all Elvish needs to do is name a race. So that is Modi.
All right. So at that landmass that we have, that's very boring to where the rift is, just to the southeast. That would be.
All right.
I'm going to create a race of avian-esque people and settle them there. So that'll be
like what kind of avian-esque people?
Not bird people, but like avian-esque. So kind of on the elf level of Elter, like humans, but instead of hair, they have a mane of feathers going back, like the Zatari or whatever they are from Marvel Universe. The Shi'ar.
Okay, so we're gonna need a name for them. And you said settle them near the rift?
Yeah, so southeast of the rift on that kind of outjut, that peninsula where we haven't done anything.
All right, cool. Yeah, cool. I already know where I'm gonna pull that stat block from.
Yuck. The map, not gonna lie, looks kind of like a kid's drawing.
For the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make it look like a proper map.
Also, I don't know if it was just...
my city.
Cool.
Okay, so I'll just slap it up there. But
Sorry.
What now?
I was just double checking. What was the locations for the elves and these Shi'ar?
Okay, so the elves are here. The Shi'ar are here. Why are there red crosses occurring at the bottom left of Underside?
Oh, I'm just drawing in the pine forest that I.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Forever ago, just so it's not.
The red waters.
The blood forest.
Yeah, but you can just make it up.
Okay, it is called Farathwen, which just means like warrior, like lady warrior or warrior maiden or whatever. And it is just because that is one of their original like matriarchs, for example.
Cool.
So, yep. That was just where you would go to see the matriarch, and so that's the name of the city.
All right. So we need
really quick. The avian people would be called the Lotash.
The Lotash.
Not the High-Tosh? Because they're bird people, they fly?
No, I got it. I appreciate it.
I had to explain it just in case.
What was the name of the elf city?
I typed it up.
Yeah, it's on the map. It's called Farathwen. Incidentally, I'm much happier with having to spell Lotash than I am having to spell the other thing that the stat block is going to be.
Is it what I think it is, Ben?
It is exactly what you think it is, because unless someone makes it, then I'll obviously come up with something different. But if no one makes it, then that's what they are. I'm just going to pull the stat block straight from there. Because it's a pain in the ass to spell, so Lotash is easier. All right, and that's your turn. Kozark.
Wait. Oh, yeah, that was my turn.
All right, we're going to create a race.
All right.
And we're going to command them to live somewhere. And this is the only place they exist, as far as I know. A few might have gone off. But they're going to live on my avatar, who I've decided it is a giant mass, like massive jellyfish.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, so it moves pretty slowly and it wanders, but it keeps them very, very, very safe. And the animal, or the race on there, are actually very, very sloth-like people. But with dense otter-like fur. They move pretty slowly, they don't scare very easily, they're not threatened by anything, the jellyfish keeps them safe from almost
So they're
everything.
basically sentient dodos.
Yeah, mixed with a bit of hipster in there, you know. They're like super into the environment, bro.
Hey.
So, yeah. I'll flesh them out more in a mo, but they live on my avatar.
Right.
And I would like to say... as well as those two, so creating them, putting them on the avatar, that's where they live, I would like to command my avatar to move. So the avatar does move throughout the ages.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say between his creation and the dawn of the second age of this races, he's going to like make it closer to the mangrove area I was at. Just like throughout all the turns, just slowly moving around.
So we're talking like we're talking like a square every like what, 100 years or so?
No, I want it to move appreciatively, like not slower.
Yeah, that's like I was just gonna like what I was figuring was that the dot was just like where it happens to be when we take a snapshot, but like it just kind of moves.
Yeah. It's slow enough that it's not appreciable. Like if you swim away and swim back, it's definitely going to be there.
Yeah.
But like over
like,
many weeks,
the people that find out about it, they, you have to kind of regularly check up on it if you're gonna keep it on a map.
Yeah. But it's never a stable source.
That's kind of just what I figured.
Okay.
Like,
nope.
We'll use that dot that you put, but that's not where it is. That's just like where we're using it to mark if something happens to it.
Yeah, pretty much. But it wanders around. Then I won't bother moving him.
Then we will still need a name. It's obviously up to you. But if anyone wants to throw suggestions out, have fun.
And
Jelly McJellyface.
I've given my city a name. It will be Aganoth, the City of Winds, because I imagine since it's not anything special, that's just a giant plains or kind of like steppe-like area that would have, being surrounded by water, like that would just have massive amounts of winds sweeping through and everything and being in
cool
place.
I also named the city in the ocean, just
cool.
Revasan, a place of freedom. It's
Well, add that to the map. That's under
Yep.
Cool. Because I don't know how you want to spell it, so.
Yep.
And I'm gonna go.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go for the name of my sloth otter people race. They're just going to be called the Da. Yeah, and they live on low.
Wait, they're sloth otter, so are they like the slaughter people?
Yeah,
I'm going to spell that DA''AA.
Well, for them it's more just DAAAAA.
It's so much better to have that little apostrophe for no reason.
Or
But
like
they don't.
LHO.
Oh no, that's how other people say their names. But if you actually talk to one of them, they're going to be like, "I am Da.
Yeah,
I come from low."
I'm pretty sure, like
did they
scholars
get the rest of it?
Scholarly articles will say that it's like LH apostrophe OONH for some reason. There's an N, but it's just low.
Hey, Modi, we got some new players. Do you want to explain the system again?
Yeah, people like to talk about them like they're way cooler than they are, but in reality they just don't care.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I will give a quick overview. So what we're doing for everyone who's brand new is we're getting ready to play a game, set up a world for D&D. So instead of the GM coming in with a predefined world and us just being thrown into the middle of it, we're actually going through this rule set called Dawn of Worlds, where we're going to go through and completely create a world collaboratively. We take turns where we roll up a certain number of points, and we can then take actions with those points, like spawn a race, destroy a race, or move them around and everything, and create a living, thriving world that we all had a stake in creating, and we know a bit better than just randomly being thrown into somebody's own world, which, I mean, there's reasons for everything. So it's basically just a way for us all to get to know the world, help flesh it out, and make it living and breathing, and from here, we're going to roll up characters and start a campaign.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, anyone who is interested in this, who wants to try this with their own group at home, Dawn of Worlds is a free system. You can just find it googling Dawn of Worlds. It's like 12-page, including maps and credits pages. So it's not a complicated system at all. It's pretty easy. We've already come up with a couple of home rules, but they're not particularly invasive. So yeah, I wanted them to be invested in the game. So we're doing this instead of just putting it in Forgotten Realms or Eberron. And so whatever they want, whatever they're interested in, that'll color the game. So now I know kind of where they want to go and what they want to do with the world.
And link to the PDF is in the description.
Yeah.
Or chat, not description.
Yeah.
I just like the difference between Elvish's response to Emperor's toes being cold. She's like, put some socks on. I'm like, put them in the microwave.
Yeah, put some socks on. Isn't that right, Hope?
Shut up.
I mean, actually, if you put salt in your sock and then put that in the microwave, it's quite warm, so you're good to go.
I'm gonna have to say, as a medical professional, I do not advise this.
All right, so top of the order.
No, it's Spira, isn't it?
No. Okay, yeah, I thought someone else just went.
Yeah, because Koznark just made the Da of Lo. I love it.
I really do too. Okay, if I make a race, that's 6 points, and then I need to spend 6 to place them somewhere.
4. 4 is command race, and that's command them to assemble into a city.
Okay, what's the difference with command city on the chart then?
Well, you need a city first to command it. So that's basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you need a city to command them. First you can command the race, then you take the city and you command the city, and that's command city is generally where you make things like armies.
Okay. I'm gonna make my tieflings. That doesn't have to be an event, right? Because
no, that is for you because you're the one creating it. That is under the create race -3 because that is your race.
Okay, so that'll cost me
you
3 to make
creating
tieflings.
Yes, because that's the first time that demons have stepped into this world and been like, "Hey, this place is nice. Let's do some shit."
I want them to settle near Lake Hatefuck. I'm thinking that like lower corner where that like the last of the Ashlands meets those nice plains and probably flows into some more like lakes and forests. So they'll go like, that's like kind of where they came out of. Maybe like the demons, the demons were connected with that spot. Yeah. The demons were connected with that spot.
So that's not strictly speaking where tieflings came from. That's where demons tend to
find ladies and peoples, and yes.
Yeah, but then now there are tiefling elves, tiefling humans, tiefling
dwarves,
and they tend to well, no, there are no tiefling dwarves. In fact, because there are no dwarves in this campaign, we could have a campaign without dwarves. Actually, no, we can't because I definitely need to make dwarves because I'm
making dwarves, man. I'll do it next turn.
I was going to spend most of my time making like the monstrous, mostly sentient races like goblins and orcs and stuff.
Okay. And then the other one I want to do is I actually want a more sentient, impish race that lives in the dark forest that maybe slightly originated from the extra magic in the mushroom area. But I want them to like kind of around that area between the two originated and live. And I wanted them to be kind of small, and they exude physically some of the signs of plant life. So, like, think of a typical imp goblin, but with like some like actual mushrooms or plants, like kind of part of their body. But they do have an ability to mock other races physically. Maybe like a mask thing though, that like if you touch them, it fades, like a glamour. I will have to work on a name, but that'll be my other one. So that'll be 6 and 4. That's 17.
Call them the mushrooms.
Jeez, I still have 9 left.
Yeah, that's
I had a lot of points.
That's the thing with following the phases rules.
Yeah. I wanted to get extra points, but I don't have anything specific I want other than that, so I'll leave it there. So my tieflings, and their city besides Lake Hatefuck, which will come up with a better name later, and my sentient mushroom imps, which I'll find a name for.
So is that a race, or did you use create monster?
I want them clever enough that like maybe they don't have a like Ewok level. Like they have a city and they're sentient, but they're not like advanced.
All right. Well, then basically make them and don't advance them. Huh? So like make them and then just don't give them any advances.
Yes. Okay.
So every city that exists now. Every city that exists now, except for the what was it? The City of Scales. Except for the City of Scales, every city right now is basically Stone Age. It's a town that is a seed for other cities.
Yeah,
but,
no.
So obviously, City of Scales is more
I'm going to spend 6 so that they're sentient, but I'm not going to advance them. So they remain in this impish state.
Cool. Beautiful. What was that, Blood?
I just typed it out to you.
Citadel of Scales.
I changed it a little bit because Citadel is a cool word.
All right. That makes it Articus' turn.
Yeah, so I'm going to crush this now, and I don't know how many points I need, but half-breeds cannot breed.
What do you mean?
Whatever the points that is.
What do you mean?
You can't have a half-elf breed with a half-orc to make a half-half elf-orc. They are sterile, like a donkey with a horse making a mule. Mules can't make more mules. Mules can't make... That would cut off a lot of craziness. Now, I'm not saying anyone who's a race is considered mateable. So if it's a lizard and a human, you're good. If someone makes the half-race sub-race, then that can be mateable with other things. But anything that doesn't have an official race can no longer mate.
Just don't worry about the points on that. I'm not gonna make the Voldur. And that's really like that one right there. Just I'm not planning on delving too deep into strange genetics. So don't really worry about the points on that.
I was just cutting it off right there.
Yeah. No, yeah. That I'm just, as the GM, I'm gonna say no. Like, if that happens, it's an extremely rare thing, and they are gonna be an avatar. Because they are so rare that like they're worth mentioning.
Okay, cool. Humans and lizards, fuck.
I'm not sure about that one.
No, I'm making an event.
Oh, wait.
I'm doing a thing.
Goddamn scalies.
It makes sense.
It does.
The problem is, I don't know, the one human city and the one lizard city are pretty far away from each other. Like there's
3
continents away.
So I'm gonna expand the human city and make a fuckable city right about that there.
Oh, undo that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just meant in that area.
All right, so that is do we have a name for that city?
Fuck USA.
Nah.
I'll come.
The city of pleasures.
Actually, chat.
Yeah,
chat.
It is a human city, so it needs a kind of Englishy sounding name generally. If that's the vernacular we're going with.
Not necessarily. I just like the reason I called it Red Hollow is because I've had that city in my head for literally years. So I want this one to exist.
It's like his love child of a setting.
Like, I built rate classes around it. I've built entire campaigns just existing in Red Hollow. It's
my sassy, sarcastic, funny tiefling bard has been something I always wanted to play.
I didn't know I wanted to play Kinku, but now I am.
That's a good point. You did well with it.
I didn't even know Kinkus existed, but now I'm happy.
Our buddy Kozark the Furry, for some reason.
I really am starting to wonder about my own sexuality at this point, because all of my characters are animals.
Can I be a gag girl who has a bunch of animal features? Sure. Can I be this talking bird person? Sure.
It just makes you wonder, you know?
Can I be a corpse?
Who turns into a dog?
Oh no!
Dog, but like a zombie, so now I'm straying a little bit away from the.
Next Cosmo just needs to play a straight up werewolf, and then the circle will be complete.
There you go. No, you take a menace too, so you get horns and feathers.
Yeah.
And a scaly tail just to round it out.
No scales.
Elvish. Okay, never mind.
For now,
you've sobered up. Was that Art's turn? So that was 4 points to command race to make a city.
Let me double check.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah, let me do another thing.
Cool.
I'm gonna make a shadow race.
a shadow race?
Yep.
Like, what do you mean by that?
We're not replaying that Doctor Who episode.
I don't know that Doctor Who episode.
I turned it to you.
I don't know Doctor Who.
The Vashta Narada?
I don't know what that is.
That episode basically teaches you books are bad.
No, books in too books in too large of a number.
Are we talking about like the guys walking around with their skeletons?
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. Spoilers.
It's been out long enough.
What I mean is vengeful emotions of creatures that are in the shadows of them and have manifest into beings that of anger and spite and greed.
So kind of like wraiths?
Yeah, but they're not a actual like creature. They spin up just from the emotions on the other side.
So are we okay?
Really
is
angry.
the plan to make cities out of these? Because I don't see that being the case necessarily.
Not
That'd be cool with
currently.
ruins, though.
I'm
Okay.
doing Stone Age version of
Like-
them. Maybe monster class.
Oh, yeah, I would say that's a monster, and if someone wants to turn them into a race, what I've decided is if you want to turn a monster into a race, you just spend the difference between monster and race at the current age level.
I'm gonna go with monster.
That does sound really cool for like a catastrophe that happened to a big city. So now it's ruins, and these are the things that exist there.
I'm gonna let you do that. I'm just gonna start spinning this framework.
All right.
Sure.
So the concept has started, but they're not necessarily localized anywhere yet.
Yep.
Cool.
How many points is that?
That is 3 points at race creation phase.
Okay, so I did 3 and 3 for city.
Yes.
I don't know. City is
city is 4, and
So
so
7.
you've done 7.
Gotcha.
Ooh, I kind of like that. Graham just posted that maybe the shadow people are the remnants of what the primordials used to be.
Ooh,
The
that's
leftover emotional energy
That's
from the
nice.
primordials.
Yeah, 'cause they're
They
just
finally-
energy.
They finally started to coalesce back into a form.
Cannon.
Ooh, that's some apocalypse
Ship it.
prophecy shit right there.
fucking Thetan.
Ship it.
That's some Thetan shit.
Box it up, tape it up, ship it. It's out the door. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
product
good.
now.
Fandom is like a FedEx. If it fits, it ships. And honestly, if it doesn't fit, it still ships.
All right, so top of the order.
Cool. Top of the order.
No.
Nope.
It is 1:30.
We're gonna do this.
Lame
Yeah,
people.
we're gonna do this as a 2-point. We're gonna do session 0.0, so or 0.2 next week because I think this is really great, and I would actually like to continue the building, but I know I've got a couple chickadees.
Like, as long as the first part.
Yeah, I know a couple chickadees do need to head off to their beddy by time.
I actually feel like
um,
based on how long this one went, this might be a go as far as 0.3, but we'll see.
we might do. I think the land thing really took us some time to
Yeah.
like build up, but I think we're on a good spin now.
I feel like
so
politics might take a while too, though. So
It'll be done when it's done.
As our DM, is there anything you want to say wrapping this up and
No.
heading into the next one?
I'm just I'm excited. This I'm really liking the way this map turned out. Definitely looking forward to people coming back. Viewers coming back to insert the ideas of monster races and any race like that pet race that you've been making. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to running this game.
Absolutely. So yeah, thank you for everyone who came out and watched us live. Thank you to everybody who watches us on YouTube. If you haven't already joined us on Discord, the link is below on Twitch. And I will make sure it gets on our new YouTube videos. It wasn't on some of our older ones, so it should be down there now. We are going to at least make this a 2-parter thing because it's a lot of fun. It's really letting us as players feel more in depth with the world rather than being dropped in a fantasy world we know nothing about and having to like play characters in a world we don't know. So this is really exciting for us. So next session, we will finish races at least. If we don't finish everything, cities and events, we'll probably downtime that so we can actually get to the gameplay. But we hope you all had fun watching us make this place. Thank you for anyone who made suggestions and helped us work out some ideas and things like that. I see you, Modi, 1 second. And then, yeah, so next week we will continue this, and then probably the week after that we'll start our actual game. You'll get to meet all of our characters. We basically have an entire cast of half humans, humanoids, hybrid type characters. It's really fun. We've been working on this a bit out in the back, downtiming. And yeah, I think that's about everything. What'd you want, Modi?
Oh, I just want to shout out all of you viewers or everyone watching us on Twitch. We're accessible for the entirety of next week on the Discord. If you guys have any ideas yourselves, come up with anything great that you want to pitch to us.
I will add a channel. I don't think we have one now, so I will add a new channel. Anything D&D related, you can post it there.
Yeah, and honestly, YouTube, if this, I don't know when this is going to get posted, but honestly, if YouTube comes up in time, you know, for those people that don't have time to watch it live.
We should be good on YouTube tomorrow.
So
if not late tomorrow.
Comment on YouTube or follow us in Discord and pitch your ideas to us, and we'll see if it makes it into the final next session.
I also do want to.
I'm definitely into the idea of the viewership contributing as much to this world as possible.
Yep, and then on the technical side of our actual stream, it's about time. We're probably going to make the jump to 1080p here in a little bit instead of moving out of 720. I don't think it's going to be a huge problem for the majority of our viewers. If it is, we'll see if we can accommodate, see what we can do. But especially for YouTube videos, but even on Twitch, I'm thinking, especially looking at this overlay, the extra detail would be nice with how cramped it's starting to get here. So we're probably going to be switching over to the 1080 point there. Look forward to that, and then also we're stripping all the audio out of our past broadcasts. We probably won't do Season 1 of New York by Nights, but I'm aiming for Season 2 of New York by Nights, and then everything that we create from then on is all going to be available in podcast form. Let me know in the Discord if you have any specific platforms you'd like to see the not podcast, but the audio for these appear on so that we can get it hooked up there. And then the last thing we're working on is we're trying to get a Patreon set up for something. If you have ideas, things you'd like from us, things that you think that are worth supporting us for, what you'd like in return for supporting us, let us know. You can private message us, is always an option, Spira or I. You can also, just leave it in the Discord channel if that's how you want to do it, a comment. Any way you want to get a hold of us, let us know. But I just wanted to throw all that out there. Thank you guys so much. It's been so awesome. I'm really looking forward to this new year revving up. I think we've got some really amazing games coming.
That all said, thank you all. We always appreciate everyone who comes out, watches on YouTube. Love you all, and we'll see you soon. Tuesday is our vampire game. We'll be back with more D&D next Friday. Bye.
See you.